Check. Let's get... Sound on Foxhole. Let's check YouTube. We'll check D-Live. What we're doing is recovering in these last 2 minutes from a technical situation, as is often the case. Had to quickly switch browsers from Chrome to Firefox, Firefox. Alright. For some reason, Chrome just won't render on OBS reliably, suddenly, in my life. Suddenly. Let's check the checklist. Discord, pop out, camera sound, background music, preloads, and tabs. We don't have any preloaded tabs tonight, but that should work out. Recovered. Starting in about 45 seconds. Let me pause the mic here and scream across the house and say, "Be quiet, silence." All right. Bring the sound down a skoonch. Let's actually mute the sound and run the intro. Hey, team. Barbara? I'm gonna have to move into a out of the building studio or something. Here we go.
Welcome to the 9dNation.
בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Thousands of years later, it was Wednesday at 11 p.m. Central. Get your passport ready and be prepared to declare to the customs agents any edible plants or miscellaneous worldviews. You're now crossing into the nation with no denomination.
I got to figure out how to turn that clock off when I go back to... All right. Well, I'm G. Ross. We are simulcast on Facebook, DLive, YouTube, and the Foxhole. And on Wednesdays, starting at 11 Central, we do 9dNation, 2 seasons. Season 1 and Season 2, which will be really long. Season 1 is a look back over 13 years of Facebook posts, bringing us up to real time. We covered April 2009 to June 2010. Then we covered June 2010 to April 2011. And then episode 3, April 2011 to June 2013. And in the first episode, there was a lot of really eerily similar to today's types of news links. Had totally forgotten about them. A lot of like SARS, H1N1, vaccine mandates, healthcare workers, economic stuff. It was like a weird trip through time. About 12 years ago, 13, 12, and 11 years ago was, you would, if you just looked at the headlines, you'd think it was today. And then it's been kind of not as much of that for a couple episodes. And then I don't know if tonight's episode or the next episode, we're going to get into some really fun stuff, some very Litter 17 stuff. We're being broadcast to YouTube, so I might use code words here and there. Probably going to be about 6 more episodes until we do start season 2, which will be some form of a Bible study. All right, so now let me get... We had a technical difficulty at the beginning of the show. Let me get one more window open. And put it here. What? Paste. There we go. Please function. There we go. So those are my saved Facebook posts. And let me do one more thing. Anka Vanka, hello. Anka Vanka in the house. Oh, I still have to fix, you can see on here, the chat. Let's fix that. It should be there. There we go. Now we're cooking. Except for I need to put this above that. There we go. And transition. That doesn't seem right. Main. Scoop that there. Transition. And move that. Now we're cooking with gas. Oh, except for this window needs to change to that. Murder Hornet, salute, packing and lurking, love it. All right. All right, gotta go to Firefox because Chrome just up and stopped working. All right. And where is... Here we go. All right, so we're going to start with June 12th, 2013. It goes to gotquestions.org, Keeping Secrets, HTML. It's a decent article on the Bible, I said, and secrets. I'm thinking in terms of our concern to privacy these days. It's not always unbiblical, nor is it always biblical to worry about privacy. It's case by case, it seems. I turn to the article. That's been something that I'm kind of interested in. I won't deep dive into it now, but what are our rights to privacy? What do we expect? Should we expect? Things like that. All right. CNN, politics, SCOTUS genes. My comment was about time. The headline here is, Court, human genes cannot be patented. Knowing what I know now, I'm like, patent schmatten, they got all the genes anyway. They can pretty much suss out your genes and do horrible things to you, depending on your status, right? I'll just leave it at that. We'll trigger some chat maybe there. If you know kind of thing. And, we don't know what we know, but that's more for Sunday night. All right, then I did, let's see, what is this? The Marvelous Breadfish. I couldn't resist, so let's pause the sound. Check this out.
Tell me, have you seen the marvelous breadfish swimming in the ocean waters?
Apparently that's a 10-hour loop that had to be shared back then and now. That was June 13th, 2013. On a Sunday night, I might play that for a couple minutes on the Sunday night show. Epistemology for Fun and Profit. Let's get the music back going. Okay. Then I went to... By the way, I've prepped way more than I can probably get to tonight. We eventually, about when you think it would, we hit some chans with the Facebook posts, and it gets fantastic. So just hang on tight. I don't know if we'll get there tonight. We might get to some funky stuff, though, tonight. All right, so then I'm supposed to mute this and a spot in the middle. All right, let's see what's going on. What? Oh, a resonance experiment. I think I was going to show the captions. Oh, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And that's Nikola Tesla saying that at the beginning of the video. And I guess I'm just showing, you've all seen this, right? But when I posted it, maybe it wasn't quite so. I caught my eye because it mentioned Tesla at the beginning when I was looking at my old posts. So that takes us, we're going to now go to June 17th, 2013. We're time traveling. I don't read Joel often. Paul quotes him in Romans 10. Let's take a look. Joel 2:32. I'll read, these days I'm reading ESV. There's a lot of good translations. And it shall come to pass that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem there shall be those who escape, as the Lord has said, and among the survivors shall be those whom the Lord calls. So look at that. They're calling on the name of the Lord, and he's calling them. Fascinating. All right. Then we go to June 18th, the next day. This is just too good. So check out this picture. Let me check the restream and see how it looks. I don't have a restream. There we go. Yeah, not bad. So what that is a friend of mine drew this in the late 90s-ish, and Professor Doggus is what we would call my whippet dog, named Zephyr. All right, then we go to June 19. Comments about Thud are the best. I don't think the comments are still there, but I believe the link is still live. I'm going to mute the music so you can hear the thud. This is just creepy. Avert your eyes if you don't like snakes. A snake opens the door. Who owns a snake like that? That's hilarious. Hopefully I didn't mangle when I full screened it. Yeah, you can still see. Yeah, awesome. All right, thanks to the delay. All right. Then we go to check the chat, see how it's doing. Good evening, Sword. Dissenter, yes. I have Dissenter on here. I've only ever launched it when I was on VPN. Proton VPN, I think it's called. Breadfish. Yes, sort of, Michael, that artist, friend of mine, he went on to great things. Real quick side note about, he first worked at what's called The Bullpen in a comic book company, one of the two major publishers. And when you work at a bullpen at one of the major publishers, at least back in the day, you would be doing art corrections. So you'd be in like a bullpen, like a newspaper bullpen type of thing. And the art would come in and you just would sit there all day mimicking and fixing and changing any artist, the best in the world, right? And you really become super good, and you can see it. I mean, he just did this for fun on a piece of scratch paper, and I just love it so much. Gary Flesner says, stock market takes a Thursday full up as your gas tanks, gas going to $7 or $8 a dump. Yes, Gary Flesner, man, just prepping, right? Like there was in the first couple episodes of this season of this show, we did hit some prepping Facebook sort of hits, and you know, I would say we do about 3 month store here. Like we can just rock 3 months, but we would share some of it. So that might go down to 2, but we could probably stretch it. I mean, that's luxurious. Maybe I should prep more, but I've also got, you know, things that can be used to enforce one's will upon other food stores. Not that I would do that, but I could become useful to, you know, I've stocked up the usual stuff, as I guess what I'm saying. But food was my most important. Let's go to June 26. And I don't know why I wanted to do it this way, but I promise you, we get to some amazing stuff. Next week, yeah, we'll have one more episode next week, and then we're gonna be remote the week after, so that'll probably be just like a 10-minute episode from Florida. Anyway, James 1:17 from the NASB translation. Every good thing given and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shifting shadow. No changing lights, I've heard, or shifting shadow, something like that. Anyway, that's kind of a fun, you know, the Father of lights. Do you often call God the Father of lights? That's one of his names, according to biblical scripture. And you don't hear it a lot these days. At least I didn't. Let's go to July 17. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to have the chat on the screen. There we go. Sort of Michael. Let me tell you a little bit about that. One day, so I had tried my hand at writing songs, my hand at playing music on various instruments. And one day at a comic book convention, somebody was chit-chatting with me, and he just casually said, "So have you gotten the bug yet?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "To draw." And that floated in my head, and I started trying, and I found that I forced myself to draw a comic strip, like a little sequential thing, 3 or 4 panels a day, 5 days a week for 6 months. I actually put it online. We may get to that at some point. Actually, that's an interesting point. That's a whole nother topic. So, what I noticed is I could get better at drawing, but I noticed I didn't have a passion for it. But every now and then, like the other day, let's see if I can find it. Let's see if... Oop, wrong window. Let's see if... Yeah, I didn't put it here. Somewhere I mentioned Catharin. I needed to draw a picture of Catharin, and I did pull off a pretty good one. So anyway, the point is, give it a try. That's really what I'm trying to get at. Where were we? July 17. So let's see what this link was. Police documents on license plate scanners reveal mass tracking. The shock. Imagine my disbelief when did I post this? We're only up to 2013? 9 years ago? Man, I was up to 4 years ago in the show prep yesterday when I was doing this. I got way ahead. Anyway, imagine my shock 9 years ago when I read this article, from the ACLU though. Do you think the ACLU would say, you don't hear much from maybe I just don't scan the right places. To me, it seems like some of the useless lefties, you start to miss them, right? Whatever left is, that's a paradigm I shouldn't fall into. $200 in food Thursday. Yes, store up on food. Boom. 30%. A lot of people are selling. Good. Yeah. I mean, not good, but good that you did that. 50-50 it does. Right. It's practice with the drawing, yes. Thinks by noon we know which way it's going. Okay. To me, we all learned not to be date setters. Let me just check and see if OBS says I've got any chat. It does never tell me chat, so I don't think I get it on YouTube or any of those. But we all learned not to be date setters. But wasn't Tuesday 2/22, 20,200, 2/22? Wasn't that kind of, you're like, that's a date, right? If you ever have a date, that's a dualism date, right? So who knows? Who knows what went down, and who knows what the fallout will be. We'll find it as we go. I want to know. Don't get me wrong. I totally want to know. So let's go just a few hours later. Oh, the very next post. CSN News. Treasury debt has been exactly this number for 56 days. I don't know if that's true. Yeah. Right. It had to be because they were at a cap of a debt ceiling or something. Showing it can be done, right? And then just a few hours later. Whoops, wrong window. Could be big, I said. Link forbidden. Genesis planet forbidden. Let me just read the headline, though. Mark Levin and the Liberty Amendments, July 16th, 2013. So, permit me to speak about betting on a strong horse. The first time I really heard that as a concept, really stuck with me, was 20 years ago or so when I was traipsing around the Middle East. And on my way over and, getting to know people, and everybody was becoming an expert on the Middle East because, 9/11. And I shouldn't trivialize that day, but that ceremonial event, that dark ceremonial event, I started learning that supposedly the Arab cultures, don't you know, they love betting on a strong horse. What I find is I love betting on a strong horse, right? I want a strong horse, or the strong man. Let me keep this generic because we're broadcasting to 4 channels. You'd like your world leader, depending who they are, to be strong, right? To be solving your problems. I mean, we've all learned that ain't coming from, and it theoretically, right? But I was like, yeah, Mark Levin, go, Liberty Amendments. But I wasn't just pro Mark Levin. I was like, this is a cool idea. And of course, the big attack on it, there was 2 attacks. against this. One was give it no air cover, no press, zero press. Just shove this thing down as quiet as you can. But for those that did kind of foment it up, it was like, well, it'd be a runaway convention. Now, knowing what I know now, the third flaw in it is we've never really had those freedoms in the Constitution. Yes, they're technically, I mean, the document I think was written pretty true, but it's a scam, right? The Crown never let go. The Crown just went underground, right? Like, it was a test run to do it here. I just got real hot and political there, didn't I? And really kind of deep. Oh, here, you can see me as Gene Simmons. I don't want to zoom in too much because I'll be doxing people that, not doxing, but anyway, I used to dress up as Gene Simmons for Halloween sometimes. Really, really did the makeup hardcore. I lost my chat. There we go. Kiev. Right. Air raid sirens going off in Kiev. 2 big booms in Kiev. War is depressing, right? I hurt inside at the thought. I hope it doesn't happen. Yeah, I don't have any other feelings right now about that. I mean, I probably do, but nothing I want to say, I guess. Maybe in a minute. I'm speechless. I did have an issue. I'm a sleep patient and I'm treated, but my treating instrument, the CPAP machine, wasn't overly functioning very well, and that was due to some maintenance problems on my part. My bad. So if I seem a little dazed in the last 5 days or 6 days, I've been steadily, slowly going into that zone of not knowing you're not getting proper rest. And I believe I got it fixed. I had one good night of rest, but if I seem a little phased out, it's from that. Prayers up, sort of, Michael. Sort of, Michael, your name just fits, I think of the Archangel. And, oh, by the way, sort of, Michael, give me a nod in the chat. Can I promote the Discord thing? You know what I'm talking about? I read that every now and then. The thing is awesome. I wouldn't, I'll just vaguely nod to it more if you want me to. I'm assuming you would, but I feel like I should ask. Let's get back to, that's a kiddo that is very important to me, that I've been lingering on. One day fight and it's over. That would be nice. Does it have to be a fight? Right? Like, here's what one side says. We all listened to Putin on Monday, or I did in the background. He had his story. And then, what's his name? Medvedev, the Ukraine prime minister, or it was Zelensky. So sort of Michael. So here's what I was talking about on sort of Michael. He's got fan fiction, I guess you call it, or fictionalized, using the characters of the Foxhole and turning it into an action story. It's fantastic, and it's on Discord. And sort of Michael, if you, I could probably find the link right now, but if you approve, could you put it in the chat? That would be fantastic, if that's okay. If not, we'll just let people find it however you want them to. But I dig it. I've probably read, I mean, there's a lot of chapters. I've probably read about 15 chapters so far, I want to say. I got to read more. It's fantastic. And I didn't read just the first few. I've also read some of the recent ones. Okay, declared martial law in Kiev. Kiev. Gotta pronounce it. All right, let me just toss a couple more of these. Wow, I'm so tired. How long can this go on? Working in a coal mine. The Devo version is kind of nice. The original is good too. Okay. I think I was on July 17 and I've got another. I was on fire July 17. Oh, did that one already? Oh, could be big. I did that one. Hebrews 10:23. Bible Hub, Hebrews 10:23. Let's read it. I'll read the NIV. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. Okay. Must have been feeling that one that day. All right, then let's go to July 25. We're only going one day at a time here. Time travel is slow today. U.S. House votes to continue NSA's phone surveillance. Yay, you're spying on us. Yay. FISA goes both ways. If you know, you know. If you don't know, ask a friend, and you know who to ask, right? Okay, if I say to you, FISA goes both ways, wink, wink, and you're like, what dog whistle is that? Find your conspiracy friend. Ask them. Just say to them, FISA goes both ways. And they'll be like, oh, and they'll start exploding all sorts of info at you, and you'll be like, oh no, why did I dare do that? Now, 95% of everyone listening to this, probably 98, probably 99%, already know what FISA goes both ways means, or kind of has a feel for it. But anyway, I don't know. I'm just having fun. I'm just, it's one of those things where you're like, I hope one person that doesn't know what I'm talking about finds out what I'm talking about. Then we went to July 25. Let's see what we got here. NSA's Keith Alexander calls emergency private briefing to lobby against Justin Amash, amendment curtailing its power. It's just anti-spy. It's the argument of how much we should spy on our own people, I guess. Why is this important? I don't think it is. I posted this on July 25, 2013, 9 years ago. Why? Why did I? What good did it do? I'm not trying to say like black pill or anything, but it's like it was too timid. I wasn't afraid of getting shadow banned by Facebook. That eventually did happen. I was afraid of alienating my New York and California associates and stuff like that. Anyway, let me get my chat back on the line. Yeah, for sure, sort of, Michael. Yeah, give that a chance. Give that a peep. Discord in the chat, that link. It's the Woodshed Chronicles. It's fantastic. It'll catch you up in a way. Like if you're kind of new, like I was kind of new to Foxhole. I was a lurker since like day 30, since like a month in. I didn't really watch the chats. I just looked at the video streaming content because I was so addicted to the YouTube thing, and I never really looked at comments too much. Anyway. Oh. Yeah. All right. Now we'll go to July 26th, the very next day. CNET. Feds tell web firms to turn over user account passwords. Oh, nice. How nice of you, feds. Yeah, there it is on CNET. Secret demands mark escalation in internet surveillance by the federal government through... So this is after Snowden, before Snowden, after or before Assange? I forget. But, I mean, this is in the news. I just kept using social media anyway. I'm like, what you gonna do? I'm not saying that's the right answer. I'm saying that's what I did. Do I regret it? Yeah, probably. All right, Business Insider. Oh, this is going to cause a 1-minute discussion. July 27, 2013, I posted a link to this article. A mysterious hum is driving people around the world crazy. It's happened to me before. There was one time where I was sitting in a workplace, and I'm like, there must be a refrigerator, 18-wheeler somewhere in a quarter-mile vicinity. I was in a warehouse district, and it was kind of near some undeveloped land, so I could look and see for miles around or so. There was no truck. I don't think it was the air conditioner of the building, but I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was this. I don't think I've heard this. I've been driven crazy by mysterious noises. I usually find them. This one I never discovered the source, but I totally believe these people. The Taos hum. Generally, it's indoors, louder at night than during the day. Common in rural or suburban environments. Anyway. And then it reminds me of the trumpets, right? Oh, story. We had a potential tornado type storm come through a couple nights ago. I just was awake. The power went out, so I was walking around trying to find a flashlight. And I was like, I thought I heard something. So I opened the door. And to the northwest, I heard what sounded like a steadily moving, not back and forth, but like an industrial vacuum cleaner, like a hotel hallway vacuum cleaner, but just steady going. And I'm like, I wonder if that's that freight train sound that they say tornadoes sound like. So I woke up the family and I was like, get in the middle of the house. No. We ended up okay. That was like 2 nights ago. Let's see, then we go to July 30. Where is the petition to sign to make this for a real movie for real? And this is the video that's I think it's a dead link now. Oh, no, yeah, this is not the same. What this was the live action Daria trailer. It's fantastic. I'll just leave it at that. I mean, I could have dug it up, but I moved on with life. Did anybody like Daria? I liked Daria a lot. I'm suspicious of it, that it's a programming of some sort. I'm suspicious of all TV now. Some Harvard dude says Obamacare versus faculty. Let's click on this. Yeah, I don't want to dig too much into this. Here's why. I went through a massive season of battling Obamacare. How did I battle it? By subtly putting little tiny reverse, not even trolls, like these little digs. Well, here's a guy from Harvard who has a tiny critical comment about healthcare, law. I think the healthcare law is bad, but it's here. It didn't really hurt my life. It just dragged things into more bureaucratic paperwork crap. I think it hurt some people from what I remember, but just personally, I can't attest that it really ruined my life. But that's just because of the station that I'm spent so far since then at it. Anyway, here's another 30 Rock short scene. I always find these pretty funny. Oh. All right, so this guy is obviously creeptacular.
Gentlemen, if you will please direct your attention to the center of the room, it is now time for the cake.
You're 25?
Yes, can you believe it? Finally old enough to rent a car. Ah! Ah! Oh, it feels good to laugh.
So there's so much going on there. We know Paul Rubens has to occasionally go through a shame ritual, probably did horrible things. It might be like a half reptilian. I mean, they dressed him up like one there. So anyway, I'll leave it at that, but I had to share it. It's pretty funny anyway. What's next? August 20. Here is some soul-searching done by the Maltese Prosper Gretsch. I hope this is not an occasion to brother bash, but to pray and learn. I don't remember what this is. Let me click on it. Groundbreaking. The last warning to the Pope's electors. I don't remember much from this. Let's see if I took any notes the other day when I was... No. I don't know why I chose to re-highlight that. I mean... The Catholic Church will Catholic Church. It'll do its thing. We know where it's gone since then, right? It's doing its thing. It is the church, right? And then the Protestants, such as myself, splintered off. All right. ESPN. Baseball players The baseball player killed, kids were bored. Oh, so, okay, we don't have to really deep dive into this, but baseball player killed in Oklahoma, and down in the article it says the kids were bored. I mean, this could be just fear-based control, and who knows how real anything is and all that, but my point at the time was this is a sign of some actual reality going on. Try not to deny this. So I was feeding into the... I mean, if it really happened, it's a shame, right? August 20th, 2013. Sorry to be such a downer. Okay, it is time to talk about Twinkies. I just ate one of the new Twinkies. Twinkies. Sorry, I said that like that. So, Twinkies went out of business or got discontinued. So I bought a good handful and ate them slowly, rationed them. Kind of like if there was going to be a war in Kyiv, I would go get some Twinkies, right? Because they're going to run out. Oh, I just kicked the camera. Rookie. Let's turn this bad boy. Here we go. So, we actually made some homemade Twinkies. They were not bad. But I'd always heard that Twinkies weren't banked. They chemically rise. What a scary thing. Probably not true, but maybe. And then I bought some Walmart Twinkies and ate those generic ones. And then eventually somebody bought and made some new Twinkies. And I tried them, and they were pretty good. And so the Twinkie saga is complete. Where is the... Wow, that's funny. There was a red... Either way. Oh, that one. How is it? Oh, I see what I'm doing. Okay, cool. Chaos and confusion. Disorder. All right, now let's go to September 2, 2013. By the way, guys and gals and peoples, this is the highlight of the midweek for me. I've been having, I don't want to belabor it, but kind of a rough time at work. And you know, the sleeping thing I mentioned. So just wanted to thank you all for being here. It's like really fun. There's a picture of the Twinkie there. I don't know if this was the new one. It says I ate the penultimate Twinkie. So that sounds like the second to last one, but I don't know. So, Ritholtz, student loan scheme. I forgot this goes back that long. So I posted to the, oh, look at the usuals, right? They're all there. Gateway drug to debt slavery. When I went to college, tuition for a year at a state school was, well, for a semester, was $500. It's unheard of these days. I ate the penultimate Twinkie. We saw that. This YouTube is some Convention of States stuff. Point here is that I'm still going on about Convention of States at the time. I would still be interested in one. Using the Constitution to fix the Constitution. Physician, heal thyself. A little sarcastic, maybe. I don't know. Mark Levin, limited hangout. What's his jam? September 5. Oops, I did not mean to click on that. I often get depressed around the times when my country is joining another war. If I'm into the reasoning or not, either way, it's always depressing. Does anybody remember which war, September 5, 2013? I don't think it was like a super declared war. This would have been during Obama's time, so maybe Libya? I don't know. I can't even remember. But what a crazy thing to read tonight, you know. This was in tonight's episode just by happenstance. Let me read it again. I hope that's not boring. On September 5, 2013, I declared to social media, I often get depressed around the times when my country is joining another war. If I'm into the reasoning or not, either way, it's always depressing. Kind of a downer. All right, September 6, 2013. Just in time, The Onion comes to the rescue. We're polling a majority of Americans approve of sending Congress, I think this is, The Onion, to Syria. Yeah, that's funny. By the way, the United States government sent me to Syria a few times. I liked it. I love that place. That place is so cool. It's been bombed a lot since the last time I was there. It's been like 20 years almost. I shouted a Kapla on September 7th. That wasn't part of the plan, but it was right there. September 9th. Babies learn before birth, as we kind of all assume. Right, so you got playing classical music to babies. There was a Friends episode billions of years ago talking about singing to the baby or talking to the baby and stuff. The article here from Proceedings in the National Academy of Sciences, learning-induced neuroplasticity of speech processing before birth. So why did I link this? I can tell you exactly why I linked this. I go dormant from time to time, but as long as I can remember living, I'm a staunch anti-abortionist. I mean, I'll, just to get the argument going, I'll grant rape, incest if you want. I really don't, but I will. I'm not saying never. I'm just saying, come on, man, I would say. So I'm a trigger warning. I should warn people that I was about to trigger. Let's have a healthy debate, let's do it. And some people do have the debate. Oh, DNA Dason, my search bar, the People's Convoy, USA Live. The algorithm puts her channel roughly 7 videos down. Will you be recovering? So, DNA Dason over on YouTube. I like this. This is the first time I've seen Restream. I'm sorry, DNA, because I said something about YouTubers not saying anything. I could see. That's awesome. So, so on Friday, I do plan to kind of update on the trucker thing. So let me just tell you what I caught today. There's a new convoy starting up somewhere. Or I don't know if it's a convoy or just a gathering in Canada. I don't remember where. I did take a note. I do plan on covering that Friday. And then in the U.S., there's a lot of really good tips out. And the one that just really seems to strike home with a lot of people that I've noticed is put your truck somewhere. I shouldn't probably say where you think it should be. Turn it off, right? And then just walk away with the keys in your hand. I was thinking, how hard would it be to put a moped or a motorcycle in your truck and then just, beat the pavement a little? So, hello to our YouTube friends. I think that's the YouTube icon. Really, really appreciate having you out there. By the way, I'm not. Now I'm conscientious or self-conscious. If I say if you know, or do any of that wink, wink, nudge, nudge, man, I'll just spill the beans. But I'm a YouTube fan, like Susan Wojcinski. I'll get banned off that thing sooner or later. I get the COVID warning on Facebook videos almost routinely, and I am talking about H1N1 and stuff. I'm blowing out the mic. Sorry if it's sounding bad. I'm seeing the red line there. All right, I got excited. I get loud when I get excited. I think a lot of us do. Okay, where was I? Here. I'm lost in space. All right, let's go to here. I'm going to need some new music one day. I shouldn't highlight it. Horrific. Yemen, child marriage, human rights. Yeah, it's dead link. It's 9 years old. Alba Waba, editor choice. Yemen, child marriage. Wow. Yeah. You can see it on the screen there. Can you zoom in? Yeah. You can see it. I should be zoomed in more. Probably shouldn't I? Maybe more like that. Make it easier to read. Sorry, noob. I'm a noob. Let me type to DNA. All right. September 11th, 2013. Okay, this is funny. Kind of. Twisted. Let me just play little bits of it.
We gotta tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. And we gotta do it fast.
Woo! New personal record, Limu!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm Steve.
I'm Irene.
I'm Lisa.
My name is Tom.
I'm a graphic designer,
College freshman.
Stay-at-home mom with
I'm
a
not gonna play the
full-time
whole
job.
thing.
Scholar on social policy and a barista.
and I'm just like you.
I'm an Obama supporter.
I support President Obama. But the president needs your help. Our president can't launch into another war without you. And remember, when we voted for him in 2008 and 2012...
All right, so I'm going to mute it so I don't get totally stricken by copyright, and I'm going to kind of jam through here. But you get the idea, right? It's a really well-made spoof, calling to action. I'm sure you caught it. Help Obama start World War III. I mean, it's pretty funny. So that link is still live. It's good satire or whatever you'd call it. So pretty fun. Let me kind of peek into... Nice. Back at you, Brother Greg. Who is DNA Descent? Anyway, hi DNA Descent. I'm just wondering, I know you know my name because it says it on the YouTube, but do I know you? Maybe I'm being lame. Anyway, let me kind of peek in and see how we're doing in terms of what I like to call the lurkerers. Just to see, doesn't have to be a certain number. Just kind of want to know if I'm like, because there's usually a point, and I chose the latest slot I could. There's usually a point where some shows let out, and I'm the new kid, right? If you've got some shows, I get it. I watch them too. I love them. I will be seeing the replay of Severe and On for sure. Anyway, let me get back to some business here. We're going to go to another September 11th. Let me remind also, I have like a little thing I should say more often. A lot of people say where you're at. Well, we're in 9dNation, the nation with no denomination. That's my tagline. I got to remember to say that every now and then, especially as people come and go. You're in the nation. Like Severe and On, I think, has the place to be. The comfy bunker. Everybody's got their places. So we're in the nation with no denomination. Season 2, in about a month or two, will be Bible study. And it'll go for a long time, God willing. All right, back to the task at hand. Right here. Richard Dawkins defends mild... I'm just going to let you see it. Yeah. It's a dead link. It's 9 years old. Mild pedophilia again and again. And my comment was, what the huh? What are you going to do? You're going to somehow, Justice, I like Craig Mason, Reasonable TV. He's always hoping for a fair trial, right? That's ultimate. We don't want vigilante, or do we? I don't think we do. I think they want us to want vigilante justice. 4 arrested in shooting death of Newark pizza delivery man. I'm not going to click on the link. I mean, I can. I just had to post that back in the day. That's just sad. I used to live really close to there for 8 years. I don't want to linger on that, but that's just bad. Why did I repeat it? Respect and honor the man. I guess it was a man. I don't know. Anyway. All right. Then on September 13th, should you bring mom and dad to the office? Employers are embracing the involvement of parents to attract and hold on to talent. This never was true. Never was true. Why did I clearly got triggered and was like, huh? But, by the way, if cockroach wing tasted like bacon, would you eat it? Why did I post that? I really don't remember. That was 9 years ago. 8.5 years ago. I had no clue. Let's go to September 19th. Memories can now be created and erased in the lab. And this is the stuff they admit, right? It's, I tell you, I'm very woo. Sunday nights I get kind of woo. I have not gotten nearly as woo as I really am. I'm almost as woo as, I think I've had 2 guests on Sunday night show. Both of them are more woo than me. I think the second guest I had was slightly more woo than me. I think I'm almost as woo as my second guest. And I really appreciate my first guest, and I would love to be as woo. But anyway. Sunday night's tagline is the woo is in you and you're in the woo, or something like that. All right, then on September 19th, I said Facebook. Oh, this is just cool. I'll leave it on mute and we'll watch a few seconds. This is a camera attached to an eagle. This is just cool. Just as a respect for the original poster, I'm not going to steal the whole thing. Just take a couple of clips, little bits. How cool is that, right? That makes me happy just seeing. That's neat. I'm very emotional today. Has to do with broken sleep machine thing. So then this is fantastic. Let me unmute it. You all probably remember this.
When I'm not fighting crime, I drive a Honda Odyssey. It gets better gas mileage. Ben, if you don't chew with your mouth closed, I'm gonna take the Nutri-Grain bar away. No. Drink.
That's all I dare play. I mean, how good is that? I know that. Oh, by the way, speaking of Batman, this Sunday, we're going to cover the 32 Bruces. Why 32? Because the number 32. Why Bruce? You'll have to catch the show. You'll learn more about the 32 Bruces, at least a couple of them, than you may have known. I think. I claim. Maybe you won't. Anyway. Bruce. All right. Then on September 20th, North Carolina atomic bomb. Report. Nuke that fell on North Carolina in 1961 almost exploded. Now, at the time, I don't know why I linked this. These days, I wouldn't even bother linking it because I'm one of those weirdos. How shall I say this? Two in the Pink. Oh, all right, Two in the Pink. You're like a celeb. Just saying. I hear you. I've heard Craig Mason say your name for years. Anyway, what happened in front of the White House last night? I don't know. Let's look. Maybe DuckDuckGo. 32 Bruces, yeah. Now, 2 of the Bruces that I'm going to talk about might, be Bruces you know. I'm not going to say a lot about them, but I'm counting them as part of the 32 Bruces. Let's see. This is 6 days ago. They said something. So, Two in the Pink. You've seen have you seen the footage from about a year ago where there was some funky stuff happening in the front of the White House? Like they might have been pulling little tiny people out. Do you remember that? I think that was about a year ago. Anyway, I got a little geeky there and lost my mind when I saw Two in the Pink. It's like seeing Gary Flesner or Sword of Michael. Get a little nerdy. Or Anka Vanka. I got used to seeing some of these names, but when you see a new one, you're like, oh, that's good stuff. You guys, you don't know. Everyone in the chat here is like, I've known you. I've lurked so long that I've known you. I'm like a stalker. The stalker that finally came out and revealed himself. Anyway. Cookie. Now we do let me turn on the cookie remote or the cookie animation. Why is it not working? Oh, because I didn't turn it on. There we go.
Looky, looky, here comes Cookie, walking down the street. Looky, looky, I call him Cookie, 'cause he's sweet.
That's the medium length version. So DNAsend on YouTube says, I believe we are already in World War III. The difference is new age of war. I completely agree. In some ways, you could count the Cold War as World War III, and in some ways, it's just this long continuation. We appreciate that cookie, Two in the Pink. I say we, because I'm the royal we. The system appreciates your cookie. Yeah, interesting. Were they pulling more small people out from the White House? Or that's not what they were doing last night, right? Or maybe. So Gander Mountain here on September 21, I posted this place. I want to say I thought I was trying to trigger. Oh, it says firearms right there. I don't know. You could get guns here. This was a new place to get guns. On and off, sometimes bullets are hard to get, or primers, various things. They go in and out of vogue, and there's whole watch lists on ordering, and I sometimes, chip in on that. Oh, this was hilarious. So here's the normal coexist bumper sticker, except for, look closely. Maybe you've all seen this before. These are each gun logos. Pretty funny. Like there's the Mossberg. Man, it's so hard to see. But each one of these is a famous manufacturer. Pretty awesome, I thought. Let's see. Then September 21, we go to. Oh, let me start my. Why did my music end? Why? Who's on this channel narrating last night? There's a group of you using this, I guess. Two in the Pink. Last night? You sure it was G Ross? Am I on G Ross? Am I in the right chat? That'd be hilarious. I think I'm in the right chat. Maybe there was I hate to say it, but like a streaming glitch maybe? Maybe a couple chats got crossed or something. I don't know. I don't know, Two in the Pink. I don't know how to answer that. That's a fascinating question. If anybody knows, please tell us. All right. Let me get back to September 21 in our time travel. Doing narration. Are you sure it was G Ross? I listened to some last night. Anyway. Fox News Insider. Watch father forcefully ejected town hall forum asking a common core question. There's nothing new under the sun. This has been going on and on and on, right? Like they bully you when you're just trying to, and what was this? We're now at 2013. So 8.5 years ago. The more things change, the more they stay the same, I guess. Let's go to September 25, 2013. Now, my writing back then, it's not even better now, but I just don't bother. So I said at the time, let me read this. It sometimes seems like the purpose of the internet is to house a plenitude of the same shouting match. Details in the individual topics change, but it's basically the same thing over and over again. Certain military actions, guns, abortion, fiscal government issues, etc. 99% of the time, it's hordes of people screaming at each other. No minds seem to be swayed, and yet the shouting goes on and on. What fuels this? Rage? Hatred? Love? Curiosity? Illuminati? So that was my thoughts 8.5 years ago. We now know that they want you divided. We now know that this is LifeLog. Not that Facebook is the whole internet, but that was a big part of my internet experience. I was MySpace, then Facebook, and then switched to really just listening to YouTubes, and then now Foxhole. This was kind of my story. Cool. Two in the Pink. I'd love if my channel was somehow a hacked White House live cam. I'm sorry, I don't know more. I think that's what you're saying. That's awesome. Edward Snowden is attacking my channel. I love it. All right, so September 25. By the way, Edward Snowden, I have been reluctant to get on board the Edward Snowden train. Like him more and more as I age. Some visuals I looked at to augment this read-through of the tail end of Ezekiel. This is fun. So I was reading the tail end of Ezekiel, getting all obsessed about the third temple. There are people that show you how it looks. You know, like in other words, describe it out so you can see here, right? I mean, how cool is this? I was getting really into this for a couple days. I love that people make these fly-throughs. This reminds me of a group that was reading the Bible and said, you know, it just describes the third temple in such a way as that you can see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the legal part that we can go to, because, you know, the land is chopped up into basically, you know, different checkpoints and stuff like that. They're like, we're going to project a hologram of the third temple, and that will usher in the final age. And I was like, you're creepy. You're creepy for doing that, but kind of smart. Interesting, you know. I don't know if you should usher in the end of the age on purpose, but, you know, whatever. It's going to happen anyway. Can you tell I have a little Dewey Reams, a little MacArthur, a little premillennial dispensationalist in me? I've backed off of it. I'm not saying I've renounced it. I'm saying I hold it loosely and more loosely as we go. Is that fair? Hello, Dawn S. And let me check the restream for... The funny song reminds me of Sunday nights listening to Dr. Demento radio broadcast. Which funny song? What did I just play? I can't remember. That's how phased out I am. And old. SEIU unionists strike over Obamacare-related cuts. This is just me diatribing against Obamacare, you know. I think the link isn't live anymore. I didn't want to not mention it. It was a huge part of my thought space back then. I don't know why, but I don't care. I should, but I don't. It happened. A thing happened. Then on September 28th, I linked to how do anti-stab knives work? That was a genius article. Kitchen knives are the most common weapon used in fatal stabbing, say police. Now a new anti-stab knife has been developed. But how does it work? You know, the reason I'm linking this back in the day, 8.5 years ago, almost only 8 years ago, is because, like, everybody's always anti-gun, and it's like, you can't take all the knives away, people, and they're going to murder you in England or in Europe with a knife. Just going to do it. And that's a brutal... You know, knife wounds, I've got 2 ER doctor brothers. They do not like treating knife wounds. They're like, that's some nastiness. On September 30th, I thought this was a pretty freaky cloud. Let's take a look at it up close. There you go. We've seen a lot of these since then. I was not really into sky events or sky looking yet at this point, but you'll see here soon when I started getting into looking up. They want you looking down. They want you divided. They want you looking down. Then the Space Force comes along. That makes you look up towards supposed space. I disagree with the team Q17. See if you recognize this. Is this the one? No, this is just the regular. This is a cool meteor. I won't play too much more. I want to steal from the peoples who did all the hard work. Alright, then on September 30th, delay it by a year? Sure. Better to boil the frog slowly. I don't even remember what that was about, but they do like boiling the frog slowly. That's kind of why I'm mentioning it tonight. The Watchers, Adderall, or something. Seeing light in a new light, Harvard MIT researchers created a new form of matter. Whoa. I don't know why I linked this. I probably was buying into it at the time. Yes. Not into it. All right, October 1. Cool site, bro. This is actually kind of cool. I have to admit. Pangea with current international borders. McDonald's across the world. We're on the verge of war in Eastern Europe, so it's a little less exciting than I thought it might be. How's that for depressing? Daily Caller. Obamacare exchange leaks data of 2,400 unsuspecting customers. Oh, it was just an accident. Anyway, this is me screaming about Obamacare. Oh, Actor 404. Yeah, I did a call in on one of his shows. Rifts in the Sky and Orbs growing into portholes. Yes. Two in the Pink. Actor 404. I've dug a couple of his shows. Definitely into that. Knives, pins, pitchforks. Name it. It can be a weapon. Absolutely. What was an actor? The Cloaked Alien Craft. Oh, the White House had a cloaked alien craft? Nice. If I'm reading right. I might not be. I'm not trying to start a rumor. You know the delay. You know how it is. Carlin said... Carlin said life is a sequence of dogs. Is it sadly becoming a sequence of cell phones? Kind of is, isn't it? It's new phone day. I can't wait. I try to go in -1 and hold it for 6 years if they let me. I try. I've got an iPhone 4. It's like 10 years old. Then I posted... Oh, this is great. I'm going to totally risk all kinds of getting banned from YouTube or whatever because of copyright strike. Check this out. This is just fantastic. I'm going to play the whole thing. You guys are going to love it.
Allá, viene una tormenta.
What did he just say?
He said there's a storm coming in.
Viano tormente.
What'd you say?
I said there's a storm coming.
There's a storm coming, Ari.
There is a storm coming!
There's a storm coming.
There's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne.
There's a storm coming, brother.
There's a storm coming.
There's a storm coming, Dr. Suresh.
There's a storm coming.
There is a storm coming, a black and terrible storm.
There's a storm coming.
I sense there's a storm coming.
There's a storm coming!
Alice says there's a storm coming.
There's a storm coming.
Storm's coming.
Storm coming soon.
A storm is coming, Frank says.
A storm is coming. Our storm.
A storm's coming.
The storm's coming.
There's a fucking storm coming, man!
Storm's coming.
Storm's coming.
Storm's coming.
The great storm is coming! The wind that overturns the land!
The storm is coming.
There is a storm coming!
Hey, Cody, there's a storm coming.
A storm is coming.
There's a storm coming.
There's a storm coming, Frank.
Storm coming, kids! Let's get inside!
You can't sleep outside. There's a storm coming.
Storm's coming.
Oh, you all better get your umbrellas out because there's a storm coming! Come on, Jorge, give it to him!
There's a storm coming. What?
There's a storm coming, buddy. There's a storm coming.
That was too fun. I posted a link to that on October 12th, 2013. Not sure why. I mean, I like the Viene la tormenta. He says a storm is coming. I know. I mean, who hasn't quoted that line a million times, right? But just given the last few years, that's kind of fun. I posted a link about crocodile. That's definitely makes you nervous, like, sounds horrible. I think it's kind of been not hitting the news as much lately. I don't know. Anyway. Then October 15th, 2013. Man gets ticket riding bike lane. Oh, this is funny. I'll just play a couple seconds in the page here of this. So he gets the ticket, and then he goes, I'll stay in the bike lane. See when he starts crying. So he, makes a point. I thought it was pretty funny. All right, then October 15th, same day. HuffPo, Grumpy Cat, Van Gogh, Starry Night. It has to be seen. It just has to be seen. Look at that in its glory. Fantastic. I'm sure Grumpy Cat is some kind of tool of the deep state, but still. You lose your attachment and excitement about Will Ferrell and Jim Carrey and Grumpy Cat. October 16th. That's not that exciting. This was just a thing that you had to do because it was probably I was probably just a robot doing some test. I'm probably being programmed. I should not have bothered including that. I think I wanted to include it for my shame. U.S. debt jumps 400 billion, tops 17 trillion. That happened on, I guess, October 18th, 2013. Jumps 300 billion in one day. Yeah, that sounds horrible. It's my money. I helped pay for. I paid for that. I didn't pay for that. You made a road. You didn't pay for that. You didn't pay for that. You didn't build that road, or whatever he said. City reverses decision to censor headstones. Hang on a second. Is that really what that says? Yeah. I don't remember what that's about. City reverses decision. Yeah. Good. I'm glad you aren't censoring headstones anymore. Opinion. Who will protect you from the police? The rise of government-sanctioned home invasions. Okay. I told him. I told the people. It's a dead link. It's 8 years old. But still, here I am, October 22, 2013, saying essentially, wake up, people. It is what it is. October 22. For anybody wandering in, we're in 9dNation, the nation with no denomination. And we're season 1. Probably about a third of the way through season 1. Need another couple months. And season 2 will be a Bible study. Season 1 is postings from Facebook over 13 years, just grinding through with a perspective of what we know today. And we do get to the good stuff. And we get to the good stuff when I got to the good stuff, which is about a half year late. So that tells you what, not October 2017? I got a hold of it around half a year later, so like March, April. So early mid 2018, the posts get going, and I did okay. I've been going through a lot of them. I did all right. I don't think we'll get to that tonight, but we might. I've got it prepped. It just depends. Here. Did I do this one yet? Oh, President Obama's purge, military offers replaced by the commander-in-chief. You guys remember that, right? Like, just, and it was pretty deep purge from what I remember. Russell Brand may have started a revolution last night. Brand, I said, let's look at the link here. He was talking about, I don't remember what. Brand, you're almost describing heaven. You're so close, missing one key ingredient. And the closing bit is very prophetic. I must have liked his rant. You'll see a couple stumbling blocks. There are no zero-sum games in networked economies, so the belief that all profit has deficit built in is an error. I'd tell you, I've changed my views. The whole fiat currency thing, garbage. He asked that he not be required to say how he will achieve global utopia. Classic fallback. But it's a great dialogue to watch. He summarizes a popular point of view exceptionally well, and all while under the gun. So apparently someone must have grilled him pretty well. But anyway, Brand, you've seen him in the news lately, right? Like he's kind of getting more traction again in our circles, I think. And everyone's going, limited hangout, shill, plant. I totally agree with all those possibilities. Totally watch closely. Even Trump may be a Manchurian, right? Like you don't know. So, formalization, mechanization, and automation of Gödel's proof of God's existence. My point here is to troll people for God. You know, like, hey, really smart people are not atheists. That's probably what I was doing. Who knows? Peru's UFO investigations office to be reopened. It's a dead link. It's 8 years old, so I'm not too mad about it. But awesome, right? Disclosure. Let me check the chats. It's drowning for info. Not sure what it looked like. Storm is coming to the face. The storm is coming to the face. What storm, sir? You'll find out. Yeah. He said it like this. What storm, sir? You'll find out. It was like you'll find out. It was so quiet, right? Taking the whole thing down. It's going to be biblical. I need to watch the replay of Space Shot. Yeah. So my life is so horrible. Work is making me work. Can you believe that? They're making me work. Sometimes 50 hours a week. It's horrible. It's horrible. You feel my pain. So I'm a little behind on catching Space Shot. Dawn S., if there's any one-liner or something to tell, feel, by all means, but I will catch the replay. Storm from X-Men, very popular. That's DNA from YouTube. DNA Daysend. Let's get back to... I do this with one monitor for reasons. It's 10 days... someone's talking about 10 days of Darncast. Yeah. I forgot where... Was it a Trump tweet that said Darncast? I do remember that. I just can't remember exactly where it was misspelled. 10 days of Darncast. Do you ever kind of really want the 10 days of darkness, though? Like, we've talked about it so much, and you're like, oh, I've prepped for 100 days more. And it's like, oh, I mentioned this on another stream, I forget when. I have the first, 3,000 or so posts, maybe more, printed out in a drawer. Printed out. That's archiving offline, right? Anyway, permit me to do my job. My self-appointed job of doing this. Where is my job? Where is what I thought I was doing? It's right here. All right. Now we go to October 29th, a little bit more of October 29th. All right. Weather manipulation. Amen, Don S. Pottery Barn pulls offensive sushi chef Halloween costumes. And I said, oh, good grief. And let's look at them. You can't have fun anymore. What, can this guy not work at a sushi place? Is that just illegal? Oh, and by the way, I went to the Evil Disney, December, and I didn't have somebody who looked proper as my person sitting me down to my hibachi, bringing me my drinks. It looked more like this lady. So, was that cultural appropriation? Just saying. I think it was because of COVID. They don't have as many people coming over to work. As far as they like to give people from the countries in Epcot. I mean, I like this. They like to bring people in from those countries that they can hire. That's cool. That fits the Epcot thing. Twitter is closer to emulate neural. Oh, this is fantastic. This is an article saying what's obvious, which is they made a giant brain. They want us to be the cells in Sophia. If you know what Sophia is. They want us to be just unthinking drones. Do my bidding. Anyway, they're evil. Who are they, Greg? They. The blobs. I almost said it. There, I said it. The Rothamplums. The Rothmings. Ted Cruz criticizes Department of Justice for arguing international treaty can trump the Constitution. Only reason I'm mentioning this is it's old man Ted Cruz in the news, and I was posting October 31st. Nice Halloween article, right? Implants. Pentagon agency spend millions brain research. You're getting tipped. $70 million on brain implant research. I'll leave it at that because I've got a paywall of some sort that I'm too lazy to get past, and I'm not using what was the browser that somebody mentioned earlier? The one, Dissenter. Yeah, I have that. I do have it. I'm just not using it right this second. I need to. On November 1st, I posted a link to this YouTube.
They'll push and I'll say no, and they'll push again and I'll say to them, read my lips.
I can't, you're an alligator. You're an alligator.
Raise taxes and I'll say no.
Bleh. Anyway, I don't know why I posted that back in the day. November 4th. Let's see what the point there was. As worries over the power grid rise, a drill will simulate a knockout blow. So they're pretending that the power went out. Now, you know why I'm linking this. I'm linking this because, get ready, they about to do what they drilling. Now, they didn't, but you got to watch them. You got to watch them closely. November 4th, I was all into the Bible that day. Zephaniah 3:17. He will joy over you with singing. That's fun. I like that. Then we go to November 5, the next day. Global warming pause. 20 years Arctic sea ice started recovering. What? You mean global warming reversed? May last 20 more years of the pause. Huh. Nice. Still have to panic though, right? I mean, we gotta panic over global warming. We want to. Let's panic. Second anal probe lawsuit filed against New Mexico police. Okay. He said his rights were violated. They searched in vain for drugs. I don't know. Doesn't sound good. Let me check the YouTube chats and let me take a peek. Just scan. We're kind of hanging in there. We'll keep going for a bit. Where were we? We're now going to 30 minutes later in our time travel. Chris Christie, oh. The elephant in the room. I mean, it's kind of cute. Even funny now. He, I feel like if I remember right, he took a dive. He like pot-shotted somebody out. And it made it look like he kind of did Trump a favor during the primaries, if I remember right. That's the feel I had. And I was like, Chris Christie is going to get an important post. And I think he kind of lurked around a bit and then, I don't know, kind of phased out, I guess. All right, so here on November 7th, let me get you there. There's a link to an article about stuff. CRISPR. Okay. Now, first they tell you the wonders that it's going to do. Hereditary diseases are going to be cured. And they're going to make bat soup juice that's going to get put in shots and stabbed into you and turn you into half man, half bat. Beware CRISPR. But they always start it with, this is, it's going to make the blind see, the lame walk, wounded soldiers are going to be unwounded. So you have to say yes, right? And then they make bat soup. So, but what I was more on is, I don't know how I tied this to this, but Kurzweil's singularity won't happen. And this is happening. Therefore, time is nearly up, on the order of years or decades, probably. So here's what the point I was trying to make. There's no such thing as the singularity. We're not going to go through it. I believed that then, 8 years ago. I don't know when that started. I've believed that consistently since. I do sometimes slightly waver on that, more when I get fear-based. I just decided that I was old enough at that time, 45, and I'm 53 now. So I'm just declaring, I'm old enough to just declare the singularity won't occur. That's provocative, right? I'm not saying I know that. I'm just saying it. Because every time I think about the singularity, I'm like, it can't be good, right? But now, I mean, we've gone through this. We know something big is coming. We're right in the middle of it. And we know there's a sunrise coming, right? We all know it. So maybe that's the singularity. But the bad singularity, the one where we all turn into, a giant hive brain, that's not going to happen. But CRISPR technology was here 8 years ago and is here still now and is doing horrible things. So it tells you, basically at the time I was being a premillennial dispensationalist, and I was saying the end times are nigh. Repent. I still believe in that. You should repent. We should all repent. Anyway, all right. Clearly I was excited about that. Brainy quote from C.S. Lewis. A dogmatic belief in objective value is necessary to the very idea of a rule, which is not tyranny, or an obedience, which is not slavery. So if we're to have a rule and obedience, and that's not tyranny and slavery, there must be a belief in objective value. I think that follows. I think I get that. I think I agree. All right. Now we go to November 10th. Pew. Why do I say pew? Often we name something we don't understand and think we now control more of the cosmos. I didn't pronounce cosmos like that back then. So when a kid goes, how does the earth go around the sun? Well, Johnny, gravity. Oh. It's not just that, but like, how did humans come to be? Johnny, evolution. Oh. And so you indoctrinate the children with using labels. That's what I'm kind of meaning by this, I think. We'll see. We'll see if that's what I really meant. How will I know? That was a long time ago. Ancient skull. Human evolution. Controversy. What? The standard evolutionary model is in a storm? What? It's in disarray? 8 years ago, I think I was getting pretty young Earth. Maybe not yet. I might still have been old Earth. Well, I don't remember. Does it really matter? Does that really matter, guy? Oh, when did my music stop? Failboat. Let me scan the chats, see how we're doing. Take the whole thing dead. It's going to be biblical. God wins. Amen. Check the YouTube chat. Nice. All right, back to my task. After the skull, we get some election news. Census faked 2012 election jobs report. So it's not election news. Why are they calling it the election jobs report? It's the jobs report that would have affected the election, I guess. I don't know. All right, so the census people wanted Obama in, I guess, is our conclusion from that. Then we go to November 19. Long shot, Constitutional Convention plan aims to return power to the people. I was still on my thing, right? I'm not going to belabor it. This whole episode has been about like that, practically. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Just saying, talked about it 8 years ago. Don't see it happening. North Texas driver stopped at roadblock, asked for saliva and blood. We just want to poke you a little bit. We love poking you. Yeah, that's 8 years ago. And my comment was America. Sorry, not Merca. Police examples of troubling knockout game. I mean, this was a news story. I guess it was happening. It is kind of disturbing. I think they want you scared. I bought into it. I was scared. I was scared enough to care about it on Facebook. I don't know. Why don't I have... Why you do this to me? Oh, here we go. What? Oh. Next. Harry Reid was in the news 8 years ago. I guess he was jacking with the filibuster. I mean, let me ask a question. Instinctively, I want the filibuster to stay because it's been there for a while, right? It's been there almost since the beginning, or kind of was in there, got baked in, got discovered kind of, or somehow. They keep increasing it, decreasing it. Maybe it only decreases. I don't know. I like the idea of it because I do feel like a constitutional republic is good, and having the minority able to kind of lock things down seems good to me, but maybe I'm indoctrinated. Yeah, he did not win a second term. So connect the dots. The alternative would have been Romney, though, right? Yeah, Joe Biden. We put together the largest election fraud team in history. So he was talking about the 2012 one then? Interesting. I thought he was... I've seen that clip. Maybe both, right? Like, so many fraud. I mean, they've owned the election process for quite some time. Nice comment, though. Where? All right, then we go to November 21. Why? Oh, there we go. Did I really mean to link this? This can't be that good. And why? Oh, right. That was driver error. My bad. I did not mean to link that. It's one of those boring articles. All right, so the Blaze, remember 8 years ago, this won't be a live link. Probably be a dead link just because they don't, it's 8 years old. Kidnapping hospital takes custody of teen because her parents were too active in pursuing her care. And my comment was, beware. So I have about 500 Facebook friends, and I don't know who might come across my feed back in the day, but I was trying. I'm not trying to get credit. I'm just saying we've all been yelling from the rooftops, right? Is this yelling from the rooftops? I don't know. So most people, I think, will already know about this, but the Vatican astronomers are searching for alien life. I linked this, and I didn't boldly declare why I linked this. I linked this because what did they name their telescope? Lucifer. Project Lucifer. Oh, that's real cute. You could call it anything. You call it Lucifer. We know who you worship. Pre-hacked electronics come straight from China's factories. The news tells you. They have to tell you, don't they? They have to tell you. That's their religion. They have to tell you. I still use it. I still use the stuff. I don't always buy from China anymore like I used to. I used to buy it on purpose, like, funding the Chinese land army. Whatever. This is 8 years ago, and I'll remind, if you didn't see episode 1, 13 years ago were headlines like this. And so here we got another rash of it. Protest planned against last-minute Bloomberg push for mandatory flu vaccines. Mandatory flu vaccines from Bloomberg 8 years ago. Mandatory flu. It floors me. Nothing's new. They've been trying this. They've been pushing. I mean, it got worse, right? Oh, this is fantastic. I ordered a McRib with no sauce. It's disgusting looking. Look at it. I still ate it. Ew. It looks like human flesh. It's disgusting. I ate it. Then let's go to December 19. 40 million cards likely skimmed in security breach from Target. Do you remember that? 8 years ago. Big Target breach. 40 million cards. That's got to be like most of the households in the United States. Like half? Like our stuff, it's all stolen. Quick meme on Jan 8. This is so funny. Cats are liquids. It's pretty convincing. I mean, I can't not show this. That looks tasty. Methods, our cult leader, was showing some cats earlier today on the show. All right, let's go to Jan 8. How do I not know until now that Carvin and Madeline are married? And if they can be married, can't this country be less divided? I don't think that was my point even then. It's like, well, no, it probably was my point. Now my point is, it's all fake. You're watching a show. It's just all just a multi-layered piece of garbage. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Yes, Don S. He did say that out loud. They use CIA tech in that term to ensure their choices. Yep. Dominion, Hammer, and Scorecard, cloud servers, right? The alien life is demonic life. Don S. Amen. I gave you the finger point and the sideways face, right? And now I gave you the click. They call their servers the Beast. I did not know that. Interesting. The Beast with 10 horns, right? Satellites? Yeah. Named after the Zodiac. Horns, sats. Yeah. Let me check YouTube chat. Pretty quiet right now. That's okay. We love our YouTubes. Let me just scan around, check. Do I have the call-ins on the screen? I do. That's the new Discord. It changed a little. Let me make sure that's right, actually. I want to say that's wrong. No, that's right. Always accept call-ins. We don't get a lot, but that's okay. We can go either way. It's your show. Looking good for a few more here. Maybe a lot more. I mean, this is more fun than... There's only one thing more fun than this, which is time with my kiddo, but he's asleep. Quants don't know everything. Just a big rant on this. Quants come in and kill everything. If there's any quants listening to me and I'm misunderstanding you and who you are, let me know. I mean, okay, quants are okay. It's the owners of the companies that listen to the quants and overdo it and squeeze. I mean, it's greed, right? Anyway, just wanted to tirade a little bit there. Feeling a little bit, but I've been believing that for 8 years, obviously. Let's go to January 22. Vicks VapoRub. That's a drug that can kill kids in a single pill. I did not know that. So that's a public service announcement. 8 years later, from me to you. New York Post. Grocer at center of Fire Island land grab controversy. This is a classic eminent domain story. Happens in New York a lot. I used to live in that area for 15 years. And anything cool, here come the developers. We're going to take your coolness away from you. We're going to give you another boring high-rise. On January 22, I saw Nick Meglin in an episode of Friends. I used to ride the train with Nick Meglin every now and then. We were co-workers. I had no idea he was in an episode of Friends. Just wanted to share. Is it wrong that I really like Friends, even though I know probably there's some MTFs and FTMs and stuff. Agree if you hit share. I said that on January 24th. I thought that was pretty cute. Hit share if you agree. I mean, you get it right. Yeah. Tom Coburn, Constitutional Convention. Here's me going on about Constitutional Convention. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I clearly liked it. I clearly quoted, referenced it a lot back in the day. Now we're up to almost exactly 8 years ago. Market Watch. Market chart gains traction. Fun with graphs. The value of the local currency. Oh, yeah. So I'm basically predicting economic doom. 8 years ago, I'm saying, get ready for the economic doom. I'm still saying it. It's 8 years, but I'm not wrong, right? I mean, everybody else has been talking about it tonight, too. Or more about war that could trigger shortages and stuff like that is more what we were talking about. Now let's go to the Peanut Room. At the time, I'm like, what could this be? The Peanut Room. 8 years later, I'm like, this might be a room for people with peanut allergies. Or maybe this is the room for people without peanut allergies. If I had peanut allergies, I'd say, please don't give me the Peanut Room. What is the Peanut Room? What is it? Knowing what I know now, I hope it's not a code name for something nefarious. I hope. Knowing what we know now, and knowing's half the battle. The other half is red team, blue team, right? CEO, Bitcoin exchange, found dead in Singapore. Nothing to see here. Oh, it's a dead link. I'm not too freaked out about that. It's 8 years ago, but seriously, come on, man. Oh, here's how proof that we go into space, because you can go stand by the rocket. That's proof. In case you ever needed proof that we go into space. Then on March 30th, I said, a freezer is in essence just a time machine. Think about it. I may have to change the music soon. I know. EPA medical school is complicit in unethical and immoral human experiments. Won't read the whole article. Just wanted to show it to you. And then somebody gives you a walkthrough. I mean, this is a lot of words, I might not get off my couch if it's that many words. Tell me who to vote for, Just tell me how you're going to fix it. I don't want to have to become a local precinct committeeman. That's too much work. I have to meet once a month. I'm compelled to share this. So let me pause this. I feel like this could get me in a little bit of copyright problems. Let me share a bit of it. 2, 1, 0.
Trip Crosby
has joined the meeting.
Beth
has joined the meeting.
Hello?
So you kind of get the idea. Let me just show you a snippet as it gets going.
Tyler?
Well, my main concern with the projections from last year was that they're just insufficient. I mean, they're not even taking into account.
Now we're all working from home, which is great, but isn't it like that? I mean, this was predicting the future.
To me, staffing is a huge impact.
What is that?
So they're basically telling you what life is going to be like in 6 years for any job, just about, right? Any desk job. Let's see how the chat's doing. Don S. 2 a.m. Bye-bye, Don S. Thanks for hanging out. I might not be too far behind you, Don S. I'm just plugging through. Our Bible studies won't last as long when we get to those. I don't think. Maybe like an hour, 11 to 12 Central. Rare option forcing Congress to meet change Constitution gains momentum. So this is that thing I'm on about, Constitutional Convention. I mean, let's try it. It's, I don't know, it's kind of unpopular these days. Never got popular, but April 4th. Wait, where was that I read about needing an ID to buy food? Look at that. Dead link or whatever, but Venezuela rationing. Well, rather than me finding I think the old headline, it's an old site, but it was saying you need ID to buy food. That reminds me of today, right? COVID. Passports. End times, mark of the beast. You know how it goes. Novelty may fix our attention. Not even on, what is this saying? Oh, this is a C.S. Lewis quote. This one's hard to get through, I think. Novelty may fix our attention not even on the service, but on the celebrant. You know what I mean. Try as one may to exclude it. The question, what on earth is he up to now, will intrude. It lays one's devotion waste. There is really some excuse for the man who said, I wish they'd remember that the charge to Peter was, feed my sheep, not try experiments on my rats, or even teach my performing dogs new tricks. So this is a biblical comment, right? Like, don't reinvent church, don't reinvent scriptural wisdom, don't reinvent how to teach, just do what it says, right? Feed my sheep. It's a good point. It takes him a while to get to it, but when he says at the end, I think he gets to it. You know, they wrote differently back then. We write TLDR, and then we just bottom line it for you, right? Awesome if true. Fed Chair Janet Yellen to follow Reagan's Taylor rule. Who knows if it happened? And I'm not as into this stuff as I used to be. I mean, look, fiscal conservatism as a concept is obviously better than runaway spending and hideousness, but the whole thing is based on a fiat dollar, and nobody slows down the spending at all. I mean, Trump didn't either, you know what I'm saying? Nasara, anyone? On my 2-year anniversary of low no carb, let me try to explain. It's ultimately like everybody knows about. Calories in and out. The more that go out, the more then you lose. Otherwise you gain. Eating protein makes you want to eat again when you're properly and truly hungry. Carbs, especially high glycemic, like bread, rice, etc., make you want to kill everyone because the world is coming to an end. And if you don't get a carb, you'll start World War III. You can prove this by cutting carbs, and the first 2 weeks are horrible. So it's a little religious of me to hammer on Atkins, paleo, whatever. But it works. Now, obviously, some people shouldn't do it, right? Check with your nutritionist. Be your nutritionist. Then I said, from a recent comment I made, I think of it like this. In Facebook, we are all an axine or dendrite or whatever in the giant world brain that is Facebook. We share based on resonation. I like to go do a Google search on stuff to see how real it is. I saw this, I saw he said it, didn't notice when, and decided it was upworthy as a sentiment. Barely, because I knew I'd catch grief. Then I had to get back to work. I think we're all weaning ourselves off of the picayune little debates that this leads to, where everybody has to suddenly become a Supreme Court lawyer. I saw it, I vibed it, I shared it. I think what I'm trying to say here is, cut me some slack. Don't make me feel self-conscious about every little thing I say in the brain, on the brain that is Facebook. I don't know. That wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. April 20th. I'm guessing this was Easter because I posted Christ is risen. Let me check the chats. MO or 2 net at Peanut Room. MO or 2 net at EP. Yeah, excellent. Connect the dots. Good job. With the letter in the words Peanut Room, you can spell MO or tuna et. Funny. There's some Easter egg smashing. We do that in the house for some reason. It's a tradition. Gee, my Facebook feed is still alive. I'm not banned yet. Utah lands lawmakers, federal something. Interesting read. Oh, they're trying to take federal land back to the state, or at least they're trying to make you think they're trying to take it. Who knows if they did? I mean, I'm still interested. I hope it happened. China on course to become world's most Christian nation within 15 years. I've been hearing this still. There's a growing movement in China. Let's, I pray that it is. I hear good things. What happened to my, am I not on? Whatever. Viral forest. Never release 1 million balloons. Okay, that's a dead link, but I remembered this, and I remembered kind of being into it. So here, let's do this. This ended up killing some people because it kept a helicopter from getting to a care lift or something. But how is this environmentally even slightly allowed? They've got to be rubber, right? Otherwise they wouldn't hold the helium, I guess. I don't know. That's a lot of balloons. Anyway, I thought you might dig that. CRISPR mice were in the news 8 years ago. April. Editing DNA to eliminate genetic conditions. Now a reality. We're not going to use this technology to create bat soup virus. We're going to use this technology to create, cures. Half man, half bat. Corona man. This is a public service announcement. You've drowned. You've been rescued. You're now home. You may get a very, very difficult, stealthy form of pneumonia that just insta-kills you and you die in your sleep. So just be aware of that. I was like, when I read about that, I'm like, dang, everybody should know this. Military is building brain chips to treat PTSD. So you give them the PTSD and then you use them as monkeys to test, turning them into a chipper or a droner. It's a little bit of a downer to go through all these things that I've been warning the people of for 13 years. We're now up to 8 years ago. So here's my pro tip. Listen to Let It Go, and towards the middle in the break, where it does the instrumental break, I feel like that's straight up an Alan Parsons song. I dig it every time, and I'm not going to play it here. I might play it on the Sunday night show one day, maybe, I don't know. But just, be into that if you want. Look somewhere else. Nah, this is just a rare one-time event. Love your giant government. Love it. What am I talking about? CDC admits lacks culture at the labs. 8 years ago, they have to tell you. They have to tell you. It's their religion. They have to tell you. We're just playing with CRISPR mice, bat soup gene DNA. More forgotten virus bacteria vials found at federal lab. Oh, sorry. We just left some Ebola laying around. Linked to that about 8 years ago. Free Beacon says, Fed spending $10 million to build robot companions for children. That's healthy. Yeah. Oh, we're just trying to help the people. What's wrong with you? What? Did you see that virus try to download itself? Bastard. Then I posted on Facebook on July 27th, 2014. In 25 years. Hey, hun. Billy's turning 5 soon. Should we get him a bike? Oh, yeah, I vaguely remember those. He had one in the garage when I was a kid. Every now and then we'd put it in the SUV and take it to the park. Didn't really see the point. My parents talked about how when they were kids, they'd go all the neighborhood all summer till 9 p.m. every night by themselves doing whatever they wanted. Hard to believe. We really did used to do that. That was my version of trying to, tell that story. If you confess with your mouth Jesus as Lord and believe in your heart God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For with the heart a person believes, resulting in righteousness. And with the mouth he confesses, resulting in salvation. Romans 10:9. Beautiful knowledge right there. Dropped on you right there. This is a news article about some news. North Texas, home to the first Islamic tribunal. Yay! Hey, they got a tribunal right here on U.S. soil. Yay! In the United States, you can live in a place where you have a religious court. Yay! Hey, it's been tried in history. Now it's tried here in North Texas 8 years ago. Uphill battle, but let me try anyway. Let's spread the word on the proper usage of this phrase, begging the question. An argument assumes the truth of the conclusion, so it bakes it in, it smuggles it in. It doesn't mean this makes you have to ask. It's a pet peeve of mine. I'll never say it that way. I'll never misuse it. I thought this was kind of funny. I think I made this up, or who knows. The tweet is coming from inside the house. I don't know. Just maybe a little juxtaposition there. Now we're up to April. Moving a little quicker now. Here's some Biden quotes from 2015. Or from 2015. Dana Milbank. Remember Dana Milbank? What were the Biden quotes? Let's check. There's no place else you can go and understand that in your bones. You understand in your bones that no matter how hospitable, how engaged, no matter how deeply involved you're in understanding, there's only one guarantee, and that's the state of Israel. Folks, Gober quoting Biden. I guess he said that. I don't know. Anyway, we can dive that later. I mean, you could dive that. I'm not probably going to. What would be a determining factor for an American to not be an everyday American? So here's my point, I think, on that, which is everyday Americans say blah, 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 blah. What do you mean? You're dividing while you're also trying to tell me what I think. Am I an everyday American? How could I not be an everyday American? Is there a non-everyday American? What does that mean? That's controlling language, right? It's so easy to see now. I'm not saying I saw it easily then. Connect the dots. Yes, I'm tracking. 2015 Brain Initiative, brain mapping to pharma organ mapping. Yep, for disability. Just to help, like Connect the Dots is saying. Didn't try to pass thought crime or use DARPA human to computer interfaces for control. Didn't contribute to Trump derangement syndrome at all. Right. The what is it, SSSS frequencies? I mean, I kind of can tell what it does from context. Definitely didn't use it to send Neurostorm, NS, thoughts to China, and CIA ISIS against the U.S. military at all. Agreed. Your sarcasm is fantastic and accurate. All right, let me do a few more. Oh, I may have to play this. This is Saturday Night Live on YouTube. I'm going to play a bit of this. We've all seen it, but it's been a while, and this is really good stuff.
Customize and save
I think, when I was watching it.
Saturday Night Live skit featuring Kate McKinnon as Hillary announcing her second run for the White House on social media. Check this out.
Want to do some vocal warm-ups and then we'll get started?
Ooh, okay, I'd love to. Hillary's a granny with a twinkle in her eye. Hillary's a granny and she makes an apple pie. First female president, me, 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 me.
Hey, great, Mrs. Clinton. Okay, now hold up your phone and you can just look natural, okay?
I almost just spit out.
Citizens, you will elect me. I will be your leader.
That's enough to get the idea. I don't know how they did that. It's way too honest. I don't know. Then I said, give this a whirl. Oh, I was just quoting a song. Why did I put that in here? Whatever. It's a nice song. Lord and Dangle. It's really emotional. It's kind of Christian-y. It's, I kind of phased out of it a little more. So then I said A is B and A is with B. Clearly, I'm trying to do the set theory of John chapter 1. In the beginning was God, and the Word was God, and the Word... in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. So how can something be a thing and be with a thing, right? Like, it's a little perplexing. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying not trivial to figure out. Eight years ago, I said on May 1st, 2015, we can neither repair the universe by ourselves, nor ourselves by the universe. I don't think I got that quote from anywhere. I looked it up. Here, let's do it again. I think I may have coined that. I'm just saying. Let's see if I did or not. Yeah, I'm saying I made that up. I like it. I'm going to make it a poster. Could say Cosmos. Chinese theme parks set up death simulator where volunteers can experience being cremated. That's better than a roller coaster, I guess. What? That's just weird. That's weird. Good old China doing the China thing. Hot dog pizza unveiled, Pizza Hut. 8 years ago. I don't read that the same way I used to. You know what I'm saying? Something up. Then on July 1st, I said, all will be revealed. About 6 years ago. No, 7 years ago. Are we 7 years ago? 2015? Yeah, I'm a little under 7 years ago. We're moving a little faster through time now. I guess my posts got boring, or more boring, you could say. Here's some video I came across. Let's see what it is. Nope. This is a video I took from... So somebody threw a Roman candle in their patio fireplace. This is my brother's house.
Ricochet.
Here, let me start it over. You'll see at the very beginning of the clip, as soon as people realize what's going on, the kids scream, the moms get them to safety, and the dads start laughing. Listen to this.
That's going to ricochet out.
Oh, shit! It's in the box!
It was a war. That's pretty funny, I think. I mean, I thought it was funny. Gotta have some comic relief, right? From all this heavy stuff. It's not a trivial thing. Oh, okay. Did I not? Ah, yeah. Oh, we're skipping one. Oh, I almost missed. All right, Facebook. I mean, DLive. I mean, the Foxhole. I mean, YouTube. This is something I was looking forward to when I started this season of this Wednesday night show. Oh, how did I miss that? Good parents miss child sexual abuse and 5 questions to change that. Oh, why didn't I link that today? Sorry, I missed that. So, how'd you spend your time? What was your favorite part of the party? What was your least favorite part? Did you feel safe? Was there anything else that you wanted to share? I don't know if that'll work, but it's good to study and have a plan. I mean, don't let your kid go somewhere where you don't already know the answers in advance, maybe. Just saying. So, how do I do this? It is time. Let me just crack the knuckles. This isn't the thing we were waiting for. The thing we were waiting for happens in early 2018. And I've been reading it, and it's going to be fun when we get to it. But let me just scan the chats. I'm delaying the inevitable here. Right. Connect the dots. I'm just checking the chat. Trump wasn't hinting at that over China intellectual property theft. Right. He didn't hint. He just straight up can't hear pizza anymore without wanting to stab someone. Agreed. Yeah. Connect the dots. I think you're talking about the fireworks with the hilarious. So I'm gonna go light. I need to go light on this. Well, first let me check the YouTube chats just in case they're still pretty quiet. And I want to know how our lurkerosity is on this because I'm about to out myself a little tiny bit, So, and I really want to be highly respectful. I started becoming, let's just say it, a flat earther on this day on Facebook, before this day. But this is, to my knowledge, the first. I told a lot of people quietly on the side, quietly. And I don't want to trigger people. I mean, I've backed off of it a little bit in a weird way, but not in a spinning ball way. And not in any alternative method way. I'm more turned into a Donald Hoffman fan where reality is seen through an interface. And it's very... We have to unify gravity and quantum mechanics. So whatever model unifies those is going to be weird anyway. So I think the Donald Hoffman TED Talk model, which I'll get to probably in the next episode, and we'll talk more on a Sunday night about, it's... Anyway, what I'm getting at is just go with me through the journey. And it's not as bad as I thought. I went back and looked, and I was real timid. I was way more open and upfront about our friend 17, as you'll see probably in the next episode. But I said on July 19th, 2015, the internet not only shrank the world, it may have flattened it. I'm telling you, I don't know which is harder. You get ostracized and shunned for telling people about Italian Foodgate or spinning ball skepticism. I mean, it's both are rough. I'm not trying to say, right, Tanette Booth. I'm going to enjoy the debate. And I really do. I mean, I taught astronomy at the university. So I've preached both sides. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm not going to belabor it because that's not the point of this show. But it's kind of it had to be admitted. It doesn't come up very often. I did then say, it's not a trivial thing to spot a beam coming from a handheld 5 milliwatt laser from 5 miles away. That's hard to do. A friend of mine took a laser, just a regular, easy to get one, and got 5 miles apart across a lake, and we were shining the laser at each other, and we just couldn't, with cell phones to talk to each other, we couldn't spot it. Let me go just a little bit further because I'm addicted to you all, and I don't want to do tomorrow. I just don't want to do tomorrow. It'll arrive. It'll be fine. It doesn't need me. It'll be there. I'll show up. Thanks. The Obama EPA. Oh, you remember this? 1 million gallons of toxic wastewater into the river. Remember this? Dumb. It's not. Knowing what we know now, that's not an accident. That was just part of their horrible things they do. Just horrible, right? On August 28th, 2015.
Patience for anyone who denies that this challenge is real. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Just saying, we don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. Connect the dots. I still see the ball right, but its structure is what I question. I see the known landmass as like 5 to 10% of the entire Earth surrounded by an ice wall. Totally legit. Totally legit. Word. I'm capable to pretty comfy with exploring those things. I've taken optical equipment down to lakes. It is hard to get good reads. Let's see what the next video is here. Oh. This is an animation. It says, features actual satellite images of the far side of the moon stitched together. We're going to play this. These are actual satellite images, it says, of the far side of the moon. And you know it's actual because NASA says so. Whatever. Alright, this is just for fun. We set up a little game of Gojira Ball. Zoom in a little bit. How cute is that? I thought it was fun. Not sure the rules, but we played Gojira Ball. I was into photographing Godzilla toys for a minute. Here's Gojira poolside, just chilling. Alright, by the way, I'm skipping a lot of posts. We're just jamming through. Don't know why I'm doing this. As soon as we're done, caught up to real time, never again on Facebook. Meaning I'm not going to go back to this mode of doing anything. If I post, I almost never post on Facebook. I can't even remember the last time I posted anything there. I don't think I have in a year. Maybe, who knows. But going to go into a Bible study in a month or two. I don't know what it'll be like. So the headline was, this link is dead. It's, how old is this link? 2015, 7 years, 6.5 years old. But let's read the headline. Millions of genetically modified mosquitoes. Am I blowing out the mic? No, I'm not. I don't think. Millions of genetically modified mosquitoes set to be released in Florida. Here's why we should question this. You don't need to know more. You just don't do that, right? You don't question that. You simply don't do. You don't need to question anything. The answer is simple. You don't do this. All right, so full disclosure. I made a Mothra cake, or the house did. Mothra is that giant moth that fights Godzilla. I know this makes me look like a Project Monarch guy. I know it. But you may stumble across my Facebook feed, and I just have to disclose now. And look, it's even on a checkerboard tablecloth. I'm evil. I'm pure evil. Sorry. I repent of my Mothra cake building. It was tasty. Can we have 2 new words? One for the foods almost everyone thinks are fruits, and one for the ones almost everyone thinks are vegetables. So like fruitstables and vets maybe or something. We can then all move forward efficiently and stop having to correct each other. I was obviously in a pissy mood, but seriously? Like, oh, it's technically a fruit. Like, ugh. Oh. This... I honestly felt when I posted this that I was as close as I could get to without getting harassed or fired or whatever. Because my fear was an employer learns that I am publicly describing a flat earth, which is what this shirt is doing. Because it says Flat Earth Nation something, blah, blah, blah. If you follow it up, you're clearly a flat earth proponent. That's the UN map, or the azimuthal equidistant map. And I was nervous when I posted this, but I wanted to post something because, like all of us, regardless of what I'm investigating, I don't want to lie to people. I want to tell them what I think or what I'm questioning, just like we all do here, right? And so I was doing it and timid. I was timid about it 6.5 years ago, just timid. I was comfortable to try to get people to think that Obama might not be pure good. Obviously, I was comfortable to do that, but I was even hedgy there. Anyway, you get the idea, I think. If you and a friend are in separate canoes on a quiet lake 5 miles apart, even with super binoculars, you probably can't see each other. That's me trying to get someone to call me and ask me why. Why? Why? And I don't know what I was going to say. I hope I was going to tell them Earth is flat, okay? Which I understand. It may not be. Oh, this is creepy. You all know about this. Here's the dance opera that's being filmed inside CERN's Large Hadron Collider. You all know about this, right? This is them doing the Shiva destruction dance ritual. Okay, Tanet Booth, I promise this does die down soon. Let me read some chats here. Beast with 10 hearts. Just going up. Let's see. DARPA. I went up too high here. I think the entirety we live in was the Garden of Eden. Close up to the rest. Yes, connect the dots. That makes sense. The math of the pyramids of Egypt. It's the hill I die on. Tanet Booth, I totally respect that. Yes. Let me come back to that. Connect the dots says, so it seems flatter because the landmass is much larger, right? Yes, they keep us contained. Fair. Access to the rest of the Antarctic. I definitely think the Antarctic is highly to be investigated. And the Arctic also, I've heard. We the Serfs can't go there. Cite the math. Bill Gates mosquitoes. Grrr. Kind of a fruit. So, Tanet, I want to promise you, I've gone through the whole flat Earth section, or most of it. Let's put it this way. Between here and when Q arrives, and by Q I mean the team, the hats, the 17, the white hats. But there's a couple of... So I post a contrail shadow here. Hi, Whiskey Blue. I post a contrail shadow here. And this isn't a very good example. But where the sun is, like, how's that shadow... How's that... Tanet Booth, yes. We'll talk. So, Tanet, how late can you stay up on a Sunday night? The reason I ask is that's the show to do this. I mean, I'm totally into this, obviously. Anyway, let me keep going. This is not very profound, but I was using... Let's see, I was using Google Trends, and you could, without paying money, you could not get raw numbers, but you can get comparative. I don't know if you still can. I would always compare everything against Kardashian, and they had showed you a few raw things. Kardashian was one of the most searched terms 6.5 years ago. We're getting close to 6 years ago. More like 6 years ago. I think I'm gonna start saying 6. So 6 years ago, Kardashian was just one of the most searched terms there was. According to Google. How do you know they're not lying? They may be lying, right? Now that I think about it. I was taking it a little more at face value back then. For $30, your phone can become a Geiger counter. This really works. We bought one because my kid likes Godzilla, and we wanted to get the Geiger counter sound, and have it kind of, I forget why, but for $30 we bought it. I think this is because Fukushima radiation scare, and it only counts a couple types like alpha and beta, maybe. Like, I don't think it can do gamma. Anyway, it was kind of fun. I still have it somewhere. Sorry for yelling. All right, we get to Christmas 6-ish years ago, just a little over 6 years ago, and I post some article about, or some news thing about Denver space debris. Oh, do you remember? This has been making the rounds, right? So this 6-year-old graphic was used to be over Denver. It doesn't even look real there. But I keep seeing this these days. That's why I wanted to share this with you all. You know, this is just an often reused graphic, I think. Or maybe it's a plug-in or something, who knows. On Christmas morning, I say what Pontius Pilate, I quote John 18:38, what is truth? Well, truth got born. I'm not sure it was born on... No, but on Sundays, Tanet. But yeah, good night, Tanet. It's Wednesday, yeah. But on Sundays, I'm curious. The reason I asked about Sundays, I don't know if you can still hear this, Danette, but I'll ask you again later. That's where I do the long form, super long debates. We can debate here too. I just would check there first, maybe. See if that's a good time for you. But we'll talk about that. All right, January 7th. I need to tap out soon too, probably. Work. Human-animal chimeras are gestating on U.S. research farms. They have to tell you. It's in their religion. They have to tell you. The article's dead. It's 6 years old. But they have to tell you. It's in their religion. They have to tell you. And here they are telling you. Technology Review. That's not making that up. Oh, Cookie. Hello, Karen here, 7. Thanks for stopping by. You have triggered the cookie animation.
Looky, looky, here comes Cookie, walking down the street. Looky, looky, I call him Cookie, 'cause he's sweet.
Thank you for that cookie. Karen here, 7. I've seen you around, I want to say. Sorry, itchy nose. Let's see. Karen here, what we're doing on the show here is... So G-Ross, the channel, does 3 shows. Does a Friday night news roundup with co-host Angular. That's my 11-year-old co-host. It's like kind of real top level, the week in the news. Not deep dive, but he does a little bit of commentary, and it's really interesting to see what he comes up with, usually off the top. Then on late Sunday nights, 11:30 Central, we do epistemology. How do you know what you know? Long-form type discussions. And then, thank you, Karen, for the comment about the cookie. And then we do, on Wednesday nights, I'm doing Season 1 and Season 2. Season 1 is things that are about watching the government or watching the one-worlders or watching conspiracies or whatever that I posted on Facebook, just running through my posts. And even 13 years ago, yeah, Karen here, I definitely see you around. You are all over Foxhole. So even long since before me, like when I showed up, I had been lurking for 10 months. But the 13 years ago, my Facebook feed had a lot of things about healthcare workers have to get H1N1 vax and all these other things. And I was like, the news has not changed. You know, it's just gotten more intense, right? So anyway, we're just scrubbing through that. And then I'm going to switch to a Bible study for Season 2 in about a month or two on Wednesday nights. 11 o'clock, so we don't step on too many shows. Oops, what did I just do? All right, speaking of which, the headlines just keep repeating themselves. So 13 years ago, or 6 years ago, or just the other day, Ebola outbreak. They gotta hit you with the outbreaks. Oh, did you have a flat earth debate on the shit show? Karen Hare 7. I want to have flat earth debates anywhere and anytime. There's been so many good ones. Do I have anything to add? No. I'm just proficient at it, I feel. I'm not doing it here and now because I want to respect kind of what I think I'm trying to draw people into, which eventually is going to be a Bible study. And the Bible, to me, straight up does say the earth doesn't move about 90% convincingly. I'm convinced. But I think I can see how it doesn't 100% slam the door on a moving Earth. But anyway, excited to hear about the flat Earth over there. Trump Sheen. Yeah, I don't remember what that was, but the link is dead. It's 6 years old. Yep, we're now up to 6 years ago. I've got the juice to keep going another few. I know I keep saying that. I'm just avoiding work tomorrow. Apollo 10 astronauts reported unexplained music at the moon. Karen Hare Fair, yes. So now Tinette Booth and Karen Hare are in tandem on that conclusion. I'm not going to read this, but like they have to tell you. What are they telling us here? They're telling us that there's more to space than meets the eye, right? Can I get a what about Space Force? I mean, what? Something's going on, right? I mean, Q said the Earth was not flat. I mean, I'll admit it. What did I just do to my... window. Here we go. On February 25th, I said, "Ah, Rome, with all its burningness." I must have been depressed about the state of the country at that time, or the world. I mean, obviously. They do recycle new. Yes. That could be about a couple things. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm lost in space. I have got to get better at this. Okay. So Job in 23:9 says, "When he is at work in the north, I do not see him. When he turns to the south, I catch no glimpse of him." I was probably reading some Rob Skiba at the time. Not as into seeing it that way, but that was obviously probably a biblical flat earth thing. I softened on the shape of the earth from the Bible. Isaiah mentions the chug of the earth, Isaiah 54. I'm 60-40 on that one. That one's 60-40, tells me disc, not ball. It's the movement of the earth that I think the Bible gets a little stronger on from what I've seen. Oh, check out this kid's birthday cake in the neighborhood from a few years ago, 6 years ago. That's impressive. That was made by one of my kiddo's friend's mom. Just amazing. Kind of creepy, but amazing. Davy Jones. Saw this on March. Not sure why anyone ever gets on. What am I talking about? Oh, this thing. This is real. I saw this firsthand. This is not my video, but this is exactly what I saw. Who would get into an angry robot, an angry giant robot arm and let it smash you around? Like on purpose. Who would do that? It's amazing. I'm surprised anyone would ever do that. They're trying to get us used to just letting the robots throw us around, obviously. News, yes, they recycle the news. Toroidal, I'm in. We can do toroidal. Absolutely. Tonight, we're going to get into it. I mean, at the right time, whenever you say, like, it's not in a bad way. Like, well, we all love knowing things, right? Learning, pursuing, squaring things up, like just, comparing notes. This is what I saw. This is what I think I saw. This is what I think this means. D5 avalanche. What does that mean? So anyway, I'm all into it. Here's me trying to take what I own. You would get into that, Karen Hare? I totally respect that. You are way braver than me. So here's me taking some pictures. I tried to get some videos and stuff. It's just a regular cheap old cell phone and a little 12x binocular. This picture, I'm not going to claim proves anything. But I'm trying with what I have. And I've not been willing to spend $1,000 on a camera that could really do some amazing things in that space. But I'm guessing I'm talking about some kind of debate here. July 28, 2016. Watching with sound off, you can really see the robot needs more work on lifelike eye movements. I must have been talking about Hillary, probably. I don't know that for a fact. October 24th. Long line at the voting booth. Let me tell everyone real quick, because I think, okay, so broadcasting to YouTube, Facebook, DLive, and the foxhole.app. I voted for in the primaries as early as I could. I wanted to impact, because in Texas you're gonna impact more. I did not choose Cruz, and I'm not saying I'm a great visionary. I thought Trump could get out ahead of Cruz and then convincingly beat Hillary. So I wanted to put wind in the sails of whatever could be not Hillary. I voted for not Hillary. I probably shouldn't say that I'll instantly get banned from YouTube forever, probably, but it's time. It's 1:30 here. I'm loopy and I'm going to say it. So I'm not going to claim that I was on some sort of bandwagon, though. I wasn't all that in a bag of chips. I just was anti-Hillary, right? I wasn't really all that pro-Trump yet. And am I now pro-Trump? Trump asked us all to the January 6th. He said, I need you. I thought about going. I didn't go. I was kind of lazy. I think he needed us there, and I can see a couple sides of that. He wanted us there. Anyway, I'd certainly liked Trump a lot for a long time. Not black-pilled about it. But I don't want to say that when I voted for him on October 24th, I don't want to say I was the solution yet. I just was anti-Hillary, which is a good thing. Sorry, YouTube, if I'm getting myself banned. I knew it could happen. Revelation 2:17. I wonder if anybody can figure out why I chose... Oh, no. This isn't the one I was thinking of. So this verse does fascinate me. Any of us who hears his word can receive a pet name that no one else but him and the individual person he gives it to will ever know. A secret with God. I don't know yet what my white stone will say. It'll be a name. But I know I will know. Will you one day know? That's me being evangelical. If you're not sure, ask me or anyone you know who chases after him. You know who in your life that is. That's me calling to the altar, right? I'm trying to get people with that post. But just thought I would share it today. I would, hell yes, looks fun. I was at Go Karen Hare because he asked us to go. Yeah, I was selfish and lazy, honestly. By then, so I was it tugged at my heartstrings, and I was like, I should go. I was a little nervous, but ultimately I failed to go because I was lazy. Maybe work was busy. I don't remember. Anyway, I think I had a job as a team lead. I can't remember. I remember feeling kind of lazy. My bad. Would I have stormed the castle? I don't know. Little oysters, but answer there came none. And this was scarcely odd because they'd been eaten, every one. I really do think here I'm trying to warn people not to be the oysters in that story. It's very general, very generic. The Disney animation of Alice in Wonderland, I can literally quote front to back, and I don't have a photographic or eidetic memory. Kanye, I said on November 24th, 2016, palm those pills they want you to take. He must have been in the funny house on the funny farm in the crazy bin. And I'm like, don't take the pills. He got out. Karen Hare, I'm so glad you went. Oh, connect the dots. Nice. Yes, I can't wait to look at those. Mighty Mouse. Danette Booth is Mighty Mouse. All right. You can see I was still talking about football back then. I finally got bored of football about a year ago. It's fake. Hawaii expect to get 3 feet of snow. That's my anti-global warming bid. There's a picture of my church. 6 years ago. Ooh, we're getting almost 5 years ago. Can you see I'm posting slower on Facebook during this time? Why is that? Because Trump's in office. Things are interesting. So on December 5, a little more than 5 years ago, I said, I've tested various worldviews that explain how humans intersect with the infinite. There are 2 ways to mess this up. Humans themselves are not infinite on their own. Can I just make that claim? Humans do have an appetite for the infinite. So whatever solution we find to satisfy that appetite better be infinite or we will hurt. Okay, let me back that up a little. First of all, what I was trying to say here was I like the 2 errors. We like to think God won't talk to us. That's one error we make. The other error we make is we like to think we made ourselves from scratch. We by ourselves made ourselves from scratch. I think that's 2 good ways to describe the 2 errors. We will live forever. But we had a beginning. At least the universe did. So even if you have reincarnation, I might be triggering people. I don't know. Just wanted to put that out there. you stayed for Trump's speech, you could not have gone. Right. You went to the Capitol, but not inside. Yeah, Karen Hare. That's right. That's right. He could not have incited. It's kind of obvious from the timing, right? Like, yeah, I'm with you. So you missed the speech. It was kind of a mess speech. Like, I could watch it again. It's been a while. So here he says, or I say, I'm hearing concerns that we have rotary phones in our missile silos, but this is what saves our bacon in Battlestar Galactica. So, this is back when I thought nukes were real. I just triggered people again. It's a night of triggering. That's what I'm doing tonight. I don't always do it. Alright, I'm going to read this whole thing. Merry Christmas Eve. Just kidding. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it's 360, right? Because I did it 5 days after. What am I doing again with the Klingons? Alright, January 23rd. Oh, you didn't miss the speech. Oh, I misread. Oh, you went to the Capitol, but not inside. Right, because you didn't miss the right. I get you now. Gotcha. Sorry, I got the feds after you just then. My bad. Chelsea Clinton defends Barron Trump. Isn't this weird? I mean, that's a true statement. I guess even demons can tell the truth every now and then. Did I call someone a demon just then? Sorry. That Will Texas Ferris wheel. I don't know. January 28th. We get there, and we see these really good lifelike robots, and they've got these carpets stapled to their head like William Shatner from the original series Star Trek, like a toupee. And there's all sorts of placards everywhere that describe, essentially, we've decided they were fuzzy. I mean, discovered they were fuzzy. I mean, they just have to do this to see if you'll buy their garbage. They have to disclose it to you. I mean, there were giant lizard things. There were all sizes of lizard things. A lot of them still live, maybe inside Hollow Earth. I don't know. But, yeah, anyway. Who thought that was funny? Oh, my DM, or I don't know if you're talking to Tinette Booth or not. The beginning was with the sound. Speak it into reality. Yes. That's right. Tinette Booth, I agree. But who spoke it, right? Bereshit bare Elohim et Hashemayim u et haaretz. I probably butchered that. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right? He spoke the heavens and the earth. What's our participation in that, right? Like, were we there? Did we co-speak it with God? Are we God? I'll declare we're not directly in that sense, because I am a Christian, a Trinitarian. I teach that. Just asking the possible models, right? Because I agree with what you're saying. The beginning was the sound. Speak it into reality. That's totally true. Totally. Karen Hare, if you're asking my DM, G_Ross on the pill, I have an email address on Proton Mail, and I forget what it is. I don't mind sharing other stuff too, but yes, as we speak, we create. Tinette Booth, I totally agree with that. When I get to my Donald Hoffman section, especially on like a late... Tinette, aren't you supposed to go to sleep? I think you're supposed to go to sleep. Or maybe I misunderstood earlier. You said you were tapping out soon. Cool. Karen Hare, I'm so excited. Can I just pause and say how privileged it is that I'm slowly getting to know the people of the Foxhole that I was using as a video streamer. And I was just listening in the car. I wasn't reading the chats. And I finally crossed over into this new way of intersecting with the Foxhole. And I mean, I declare myself as Foxhole fam, have been for a couple months. And it's just such a privilege to get to know you all so much better and everything. It's just great. I can't wait for a meetup. I'm in the DFW area. I pinged. Everyone told me immediately, ping Diddy style, so I did. He's got me on his radar. Karen, if you want me to show that picture or anything, let me know. I was going to look at it later, but if I'm missing a hint or something, if there's something I'm supposed to do, let me know. Let me do a few more since everybody's here. All the peoples. Oh, this one. Ooh, it gets... I would argue that we're about to get tantalizing. Don't want to oversell it, but let's look at this. Okay, I don't think this is me knowing about... I mean, look at the date, right? This is... Correct me if I'm wrong, but October of 2017 is when things get rolling, right? And I was a few months late. So I don't think this is anything crazy. But somehow, I mean, we were already getting news stories about how the abuse of Flynn was happening and what was going on and Mike Pence and all that. Ooh, look at the almost trips. 10-10. I like 10-10. But Feb 13, I said, you know the phrase, in like Flynn, right? And I said, Flynn no longer in. I was sad about it. I've always kind of felt like pretty pro Flynn. Oh, Tanette, Tanette, if you heard the Flynn thing, you're probably stuck again. Yeah, Karen Hare. I've been lurking and not really reading the chat, listening to like Reasonable TV and stuff like that since about a month after Foxhole started. It was first, I used it as my YouTube replacement, right? So Tanette, you don't have to check the replays, but if you aren't hearing this, that's fine. But Flynn no longer in. I posted it on February 13th, 2017. When I was going through the prep for this show a couple days ago, I was like, ooh, now it's getting interesting. Let me wind it down there. I think that's a good note to close on. Let me make the rounds. Check the Discord. Check the chat. I'm going to do a little outro video and I'm going to release the scratchies. Just want to check one more thing. Man, I hate leaving, but it's pretty late. Flat Earth, blah. So, tonight, you heard the Flynn post, right? That wasn't the beginning of my 17 posts. Because 17, I don't think existed yet, right? As such. Well, there may have been some... Oh, is it Diddy's birthday? How did I miss that? I think I might have known that. Just I'm like vacanted out in my head. I don't want to oversell the story, but my Help Me Sleep Correctly CPAP machine, it was on the fritz. I got it fixed. It's all good now. So you've seen, this is my first good night's sleep in like a week, probably, maybe more. All right, well, I said I would. Let me... Oh, we got, a couple more. I'm so addicted to you all. Just a couple more. Here's what I'll do. I think I know how to do a couple more and then pull out of the nosedive that I'm creating for myself. The nosedive of doom, I tell you, doom. I'm going to just do a couple more, and then I'll look and see how far we have to go to get to the first true Q post that I talked about. Spicer checks White House staffers' phones for leaks, vows more searches coming. Now, I remember posting this. Every one of them should have got up and walked out forever right then, I said. I don't think I meant that. I think I was vaguely, crappily doing a terrible job of trying to reverse anti-troll or something. I have really good friends from New York and California who are very TDS type. And I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this even now. I'm surprised I said something so strong. Who knows? Maybe I was mad. Let's just say I was mad. At face value, it looks like I was. Let me do another couple. Oh, okay. Sorry, Tanette. There's a little bit more flat Earth, not a ton. This is Kyrie Irving walking back his flat Earth. But if you read it, he doesn't walk it back. He had to do the apology tour. By the way, Kyrie is very much a hero of the anti-mandate movement in my mind. Just saying, a co-flat earther, a fellow flat earther. You got to keep him around. On March 17th, 2017, I said, or I posted to, oh, this is fascinating. We're not going to watch the whole thing.
And shine a spot.
Unless you really, really, really want to. I don't need the sound, but this person goes through a description of, it's not, see if he says it. Let me turn on the subtitles. It's not the speed of the air. Let's see. Reaches the end on the upper surface much earlier than he does on the lower surface. In fact, by the time it reaches the end on the lower surface, the flow has already gone a long way past on the upper surface. This shows very clearly that the flow doesn't take the same amount of time to reach the end of the wing. So what they tell you, which is that it's, I forget. Anyway, it's fascinating to look through. Airplanes may not work the way they say, is really the bottom line. Let me just leave it at that, as far as... All right. I have to troll Tanette for a second. It could be like globe knotters. That's lame. Yeah. But I'm being timid, and I'm trying to... at this time, I remember my mindset. I wanted credit for having been semi-willing to state my newfound discoveries, but I was timid. Anyway, it gets better, though. Warren Buffett's face will adorn cans of cherry Coke in China. What kind of weird ritual is this? Anyway, I'm behind a paywall, but Warren Buffett's face on cherry Coke in China. Gotta be some kind of weird spell or ritual. Who knows what that is? We can play a guessing game. This is one of those Facebook things you're supposed to do where you put 10 bands you've seen, but one is a lie. Which one is the lie? I would check the chat while you're... Ooh, Karen hair. Show the pic. Yeah, and yeah, thanks for the cookie. Let's play the cookie.
Looky, looky, here comes Cookie, walking down the street. Looky, looky, I call him Cookie, 'cause he's sweet.
Karen hair. Clicking on, and let's see. How can I copy image address? Let's pop it right here. That is wonderful. That's a great photo. Look at this crowd you got. Let me pan over. There's you. There's the crowd. Look at that. What a great picture. Sorry to zoom in so much, but I had to see that crowd. You're probably like, don't zoom in. That's what I would say if it was me, but you look great. Oh, nice. Something kickboxing. I love the martial arts. Here, I'll do a thing where I'm like, whoosh, whoosh. These are the ones I have seen. The lie, it's Def Leppard for anyone who cared, which hopefully no one cared. Reverse anti-troll. And Karen Hare, we're still slow enough. If you ever need to get my attention, you can just but I really appreciate the cookie. That kind of hoping to lose my job one day, so that cookie is way appreciated. Right now, I don't cash them out. I funnel them back into build and stuff. Much appreciated. I get more emotional as it gets later in the night, by the way. Have you noticed that about yourself? Anyone? Do a couple more because I'm so addicted. I really want to just slam through this and just get to the Bible study. What's going to be the Bible study? I'm going to start with Genesis 1:1, but we can argue about when Earth became irreparable. It is clearly by now irreparable without fire. Darth Vader costume leads Wisconsin high school evacuation. Whether that's true or not, if it's true, it proves the Earth is irreparable. That was my snarky point, right? I think my evidence is overwhelming. You close the school because of a Darth Vader costume. Keylogger found in audio driver of HP laptops. Nothing to see here. Probably made in China, just saying. That was 5 years ago. A little less than 5 years. We're moving quicker. Did you notice? At the beginning of the night, it moved. Oh, by the way, there's a 3-hour time limit. 10:30. Before you have to like re-upload the video. 11:30. Oh no, we're doing good. 12:30, 1:30. All right. It's a 6-hour time limit for one thing, and it's a 3-hour time limit for something else. I forget what. So I'm here. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but Michelle food was still in the schools, even though this is May 15th, 2017. It hadn't really been changed. And I went to have lunch with my kid in elementary school a ton, and all I saw was just constant food wasting. Because they had the salad, none of the kids would eat it. It just was like always up, never ate. It was terrible. Dear my offspring, yes, about 50 years ago we could go to the moon, walk on it, do science, come back. Now we can put soda can sized stuff in orbit and have one box we keep about 5 or 10 humans in orbit, and we really want to go to Mars. We're not sure when or really how. Moon, not interesting. That's the state of the art for space, kiddo. Color me disillusioned. This is me timidly trying to prove at least that the moon landing is garbage, right? Because we never went back 50 years. I'm not saying the Earth's flat in that post. I'm saying moon is garbage, the moon landing. Okay. May 20th, 2017, Trump joins a dub key. I called it a Trump key. That's that Arabic dance. Do you remember it? It was starting to get close to when the stuff started happening, right? Do you remember the timeline? He gets honored in Arab countries, basically. I think that's what that's a reference to. Does that sound right? May 20th? Yeah, connect the dots. Well, hopefully you don't have that keylogger installed. It was a very specific one. If you need that article, do you want me to here? Well, that was 5 years ago. How bad this is. Unplugged, closed, and flat battery. Right. Turned itself on, started playing something. My Xbox turns itself on sometimes. How does a laptop lid closed with a flat battery turn on and start playing something without a window open? Exactly. They're made to spy on us. I don't do anything that I don't do publicly these days. No one should post this. Truly. Let's see what it is. Oh, this is hilarious. Comic relief time.
It's the kind of beat that go.
I couldn't help it. Both then and now. I hope you found that humorous. Trump voters, Russian agents, Snopes. Bleep, bloop. What did they say? Does the FBI have evidence that 62 million Trump voters are Russian agents? Fake. Let's see what they're. False. Oh, it's very nice of you, Snopes. Broken clock. Right twice a day. Let's see. Then on May 26th. Oh, sorry. I'm being dumb. We're going to go to May 31. What would positive covfefe look like, I wonder? I mean, how would you discern the difference? Let's see. Negative. Yeah, that's how he said it, right? Negative covfefe. I was just trying to chime into the cultural zeitgeist. Nothing fancy. Here's a little religion, little preaching. So, I claim to follow, let's try, common sense. Therefore, I have a chance of impacting the reputation of common sense. I claim to follow the laws of the land. So I can impact the reputation of the laws of the land. My own instincts. A political figure. Buddha. I think you can. They want followers to be attached to the political figure. So that does work a little bit. Impersonal laws of nature, parents' teachings. So anyway, but if you put Jesus in there, it really starts to come alive. I claim to follow Jesus. Therefore, I have a chance of impacting the reputation of Jesus. Now, Jesus is what Jesus is, right? He is who he is. Nothing I do can improve that. But if I claim him and then people watch my behavior, could I be used to improve the reputation the way he wants if I behave correctly? Just a thought, right? Anyway, that's what I was on about on June 16th. 5 years ago. Is it 5 years ago? Yeah, 5 years ago. Time traveling. July 9. Oh, me with the dead air. Boink. I would think this is fake. It says. Trump, Putin discuss working together on cyber issues. So I'm trolling, or I'm trying to inoculate. Tillerson is running around trying to explain this is a good idea. That's kind of wheels off. Right it back in, This is just me trying to double reverse troll or whatever, like to sneak it into certain people's thoughts. Clumsy. But I linked the article. July 9th, 2017. Putin's bad, okay. How is Putin doing these days? Is he taking his country to war? Illegitimately? I don't know. I don't think, maybe not. After 100 guesses, guys, gals, friends on Facebook. Friends on... Why do I keep calling Fox? Because I'm staring at Facebook. Friends on YouTube, friends on Facebook, friends on DLive, friends on Foxhole. We're getting closer. I posted on July 21, 2017. Way before I knew about 17. I wouldn't have guessed Anthony Scaramucci. Can we say the Scaramucci model? If you know, you know. If you don't know, find a friend who knows, and you know who knows, and ask them. Singing that music. Probably shouldn't do that. All right. Tech company workers agree. Microchips, to have microchips implanted in their hands. Okay. Don't ever work there. Don't get married to that person. Like, what? What's going on? I don't know why I said that way. All right, here's something I did on August 16th. Let me tell the story even. It's brief. I should have cut it way earlier than that. I called them up and I said, look, I'm giving you $200-something a month. Can we make it $175? If we can get to $175, give me a package. And they got to like $160 after like 90 minutes of, and I got escalated twice. So I finally was like, and I was so nervous. It was like quitting a job almost. I've done that a couple times in life. And it was like, not to get another job, but I mean to quit a job. That's happened to me once. It's a famous story, but famous to some. So I'm like, I was staring at the table and I had the phone and I was like, do it. And I felt so free. I felt like I jumped out of an airplane. It was so good. Should have done it way earlier. Nobody even uses cable now, but at the time it was like, whoa. I told 10 Starbucks baristas I had a concussion. So this is when I had my big concussion. This thing was nasty. 8 acted like a sympathetic bartender. Oh, sorry, yeah, which is fine. 2 recoiled in horror, like, I now know which 2 have had the concussion. I used to be like the first 8, now I'm like the last 2. I'm like, oh, I feel your pain. And no 2 concussions are alike. You know, I know that from the one. Yeah, from talking to lots of people now. Zephaniah 3:17, let's see what it says. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love, he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. It's fantastic. And then, let's see, September 2, I mentioned Babylon B. Water Slide Baptismal, you can't beat that. That's one of their best hits. That's pretty funny. All right. So, what I'm going to now do, this is how I was going to kind of escape. I felt earlier. I'm just going to scroll down. Okay. Ooh. Far is it? It's pretty far. So we're on September 2, 2017. And my first official 17 related post, I'm broadcasting to multiple channels, that's why I'm coding that, is June 11. My first for sure, like there's no question. Oh. Well, there's a couple that are almost. Anyway, June 11. It gets real. So that's about... Well, tonight we did 20... Let's see. Tonight we did... You know what? Let me just go to that. I can get there real quick. Here I said, Carrie, are you goofing on Elvis? Who knows? Jim Carrey was doing something. Who knows? Russell Brand gets pretty funny at 16:30. Oh, he interviews a prominent flat earther. So that's my way of sneaking out and saying, Earth is flat. It's Mark Sargent that's on with them. Okay, I bought these pumpkins, or we took these pumpkin seeds and dried them. Turns out when you buy a pumpkin at the store, you're buying a non-breedable pumpkin. I finally found out that talking to a pumpkin farmer. He's like, oh yeah, you got to buy seeds at the store. And those are probably one generational also, right? They only do one. So then on November 15th, I said, so even if he didn't say those exact words, Woodrow Wilson, I'm going on about Woodrow Wilson. I do not like that guy. Neither does Glenn Beck. Oh, I'll just jam through this real quick. The Hindenburger. My joke, I thought it was pretty good. Seems tasteless. Thought that was a good joke on a joke. I'm still into football at this time, and I still believe this. Screen passes are horrible. Horrible. I hate them. Ooh, you may be jealous of me. I think the week it opened, we got to see the Hall of Presidents in whichever Disney that is, with Trump. It was pretty cool. Jan 13, 2018. I'm hoping a few years from now, with more CC more established, it'll be harder to artificially suppress, with more cryptocurrency, harder to artificially suppress precious metals. I was wrong. We got more CC established, and it is just as easy to suppress precious metals as it ever was. I did not see that coming. So now we're about 4 years ago. Let me jam through this. Sorry to go so fast, but we're going to get to the first ever 17 related post from me on my Facebook, and then we're going to call it a night. And we'll start up there next week. Humans are weird. Okay. Rub-a-dub-dub. It's creepy. There's no good way to spin this. It's creepy. I just had to point out that's creepy at that time. January 22. This is a guy named Paul Vanderklay. He does a really good job of explaining Jordan Peterson from a Calvinistic perspective. He does a really good job. Oh, I guess I got this from Paul Vanderklay. Anyway, there's a link about Jordan Peterson. It's my Jordan Peterson phase. Oh yeah, Paul Vanderklay right there. Ooh, this is me trying to sneak the idea of praying into people. Sit alone in a dark room or somewhere dark room and say out loud, even if it's a whisper, I am not God, and then just wait a few moments. I was just, I guess, trying to trigger people back then. Unless you think you're God, and then we can have a debate. I'm not saying you're not. What's the best way to fix Pareto distributions? Here's what I mean by that. In nature, you get people glomming near a water source or, various kind of natural phenomenon. And what I was trying to hint at here is there will be rich people, and stop being so angry about it. Kind of a free market concept I was trying to make, or troll people into debating me, or none of this stuff ever worked. Nobody ever bid on this. I'm not showing the comments. They're not visible here. Sometimes the comments were good. I got people every now and then. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kept doing it. So I'm not saying it was an absolute failure. Let me check the chat as I'm jamming through this. More than 70%. Right. I'm looking at your impregnating 70% of the U.S. population. Russians to come to my town. Damn, those Russians are some seriously awesome U.S. consuls. Right. Bleep, bloop. Can they come down under and turn my country that way? Oh, so Connect, you're from down under. Based on their logic, Russia, please come turn Australia around from our tyrannical corrupt asshats. You have to buy heritage seeds. Yes, connect the dots. I learned that the hard way. We tried that for years, and we were like getting better and better at growing pumpkins, but they would never sprout or whatever. Like they would get closer and closer. We were getting so good at getting infertile pumpkins to be fertile. We never got them to be fertile. Let me check something. Close. I'm seeing enough lurkage that we're still going to do the reveal here. Let's see, how close am I? Oh, man. Just a page. A long page, but a page nonetheless. Sure. Blame the robotic overlords. The Dow fell 800 points in 10 minutes. They control it all. It's just a show, right? I mean, come on. Don't we know this by now? Babylon B. A man joins CrossFit. Oh, I didn't put it in the right place. Man joins CrossFit without telling anyone. Hilarious. I thought that was pretty funny. Wow. Not going to get much sleep tonight, am I? This is too hilarious. I'm going to play 2 seconds of it.
This song sounds meaningful, but it's not. It just doesn't have any drums. Did this man go through something really sad for him to write this meaningful song? No, there's just no drums.
So he makes about 6 really good jokes in there. Louis Burgess, meaningful song. Had to share. Too funny. I'm not going to steal his whole work. It's really good. Meaningful song. Got about 10 links-ish until we get to the big one. And it's the beginning. And then we're going to stop. Then we're going to do the more next week. 3 years later, it was a catch. Dev caught the football. Says so. NFL committee changed the rules such that it would have been a catch. They didn't actually say it in the committee. It's just they changed the rule. I mean, it's a catch. How was it not a... just so annoying. I shouldn't buy into that garbage. Okay, dead link, but South North Korea to hold summit in April, South Korea says. I pray this goes well. This is March 6, 2018. So there's already been posts. I just don't know about it, or maybe this is how I was starting to track on that. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But let's go just a little bit further. Oh, why did I do that again? Oh, because I'm being a doofus. North South Korea. Overheard a mom teaching your young daughter, we do not spend real money on fake money. She was trying to keep her to buy for like Facebook bucks or something. Or Fortnite bucks or whatever. Or maybe, who knows. But, I mean, interesting concept, right? Don't spend real money on fake money. That could go deep. Let's check the chats. Heritage Seeds, yep. Don't let the door hit you, Paul Ryan. Here's some good news. Paul Ryan is out. April 11th, 2018. Boom. Na-na-na-na. Goodbye. Getting in the mood, right? Then I say, on April 11th, I linked to this YouTube. How science is nested in religion.
Of a mountain.
This guy is super good. He upped his production values after a while. Look up Jonathan Pajot. I got a hold of him thanks to Jordan Peterson. They've had each other on their shows a couple times. Jonathan Pajot. All right, just one more page, about 10 links. Here's a little more about Jonathan Pajot. Ragtag heroes of an upside-down world. Compelling to see us right before the spark of the revolution. Not linked on purpose. I don't remember why I didn't link it on purpose. But do you remember when Starbucks closed itself down for a day so it could learn to be more tolerant about like cops and violence or something? I really am a fan of Starbucks' product. I know it's horrible for me to say. I meant this, but I was also, I don't know, I was feeling a little snarky, but it doesn't come across as snarky. Anyway. It says, I hope Starbucks is stronger and better on May 30. For those just listening. Remember, April 20th, Avicii. You guys remember? I must have been maybe not 17 aware by then, but I must have been starting to really pay attention to some better 4chans if I was on about Avicii. Rest in peace, Avicii. If you're really dead. I hope you're not, but I fear you are. All right, for whatever reason, on April 20th, I said, it's time to be liminal. I don't remember why I said that. Then on April 24th of 2018... Oops. Whoops. Greenberg, dangers of spraying aluminum. Geoengineering watch. And I get like a little warning. Geoengineering's not real. You're a bastard. So I'm just linking about some geoengineering, some chemtrails. You know the drill. And then John G. Trump. Oh, we're getting close. We're so close. In 1943. So I'm probably reading Q by now, right? May 3rd. How else am I on John G. Trump? Trump's uncle, reviewed and analyzed the papers of Tesla when Tesla died in a New York City hotel. If this does nothing to your brain, well, what is. I don't know where every rabbit hole in time and space leads, but bring the Holy Bible with you when you travel. I don't know why I exactly said it that way, but not bad advice. So I gotta say I was probably reading by then. The you-know-who posts. I said it earlier. In the way raindrops fill a bucket, every interaction between any two people always represents humanity. May 13th, 2018. So how you treat the poor, how I treat the poor, how I treat the downtrodden, that's how all humans treat all humans, right? I got this probably from Jordan Peterson, but I mean, it's such a Jesus concept, right? I think. Or, it doesn't have to just only be religion, but May 16th, I linked to this YouTube. Ooh, got to Donald Hoffman finally. Let me put this link in this is one of the most important links I could ever share, I think. The Bible in this. Something like that. I'm not going to show much of it here. I just want to alert people. I'm going to probably deep dive some of that stuff on like a Sunday night show at some point soon or in the future. While I say our ability to perceive is limited by design, and Hoffman says evolution has nerfed our ability to perceive on purpose, either way, we all agree we don't understand reality. He's a big evolutionary guy, but you can still get a lot of good stuff out of that. Then I link. Oh, this is fantastic. Once you find that first link, you'll find the second one. More Donald Hoffman. Not intended ever to show a lot of that on tonight's show. Ooh, we're 4 points away. Three and then it. So Brit Royal married a Nick star, huh? Or huh? Probably that's influenced by the guy, the team, the hats, the white hats, the good guys. 11 days. Red pill. I don't remember what that means, but it seems like I'm getting cryptic. Oh, 2 more posts. We're so close. So close. Dennis Rodman will be in Singapore for Trump-Kim summit. I'm clearly tracking by now, right? Right. So now I'm going to do the rounds. I'm going to check D-Line, or I'm going to check the Discord. Nobody's in there. Checking chat. Checking YouTube chat. Now I'm going to go check the lurkage and see if it's... Should I do the reveal? I'm not trying to be a diva. But I feel like I need to know. I gots to know. All right. We're solid on lurkage. Here's my plan. Going to do the reveal. Going to chat about it a bit. Going to release the crash and going to go to sleep. I'll do the outro video. Right? It's coming up on a 3-hour show. Perfect. No, I went over 3 hours. What does that do? I think that mangles something. Anyway, sorry, I went over 3 hours. I got so excited, I forgot. I started at 11, not 11:30. All right, so June 11, 2018. This is going to be a little bit of a letdown after all that build-up, but it's not. It's not. June 11, 2018. So when do I post June 11, 2018? I'm going to scroll down. Get excited with me. Do you remember these days? I straight up just said this on Facebook. Boom. I was so happy looking back over that. A couple days ago when I came across that, I'm like, new Q. New Q. So, if anybody sees this replay or is live watching now and doesn't know what Q is, or if you do and you just start like, wait, you? I don't think anyone will be surprised. I've been pretty out for a while. Ask. Dialogue. Talk. I know I sound just like a religious person doing an altar call. That too. If you don't know Jesus, get to know Jesus. There's nothing stopping you. What was, on June 11, the new Q, 2018? I'm so excited we got that far in this episode. It took a long time to get here. It gets fun from here. And then we're going to stop this when we catch up with real time. Just judging from this episode took us to about 2/3 of the way through. So we probably need about 3 more episodes, maybe 4, maybe 5. They won't all be this long. I'm taking a week off of this. I'll do a short live thing, but it'll be like 10 minutes, maybe less. So anyway, that was really fun. Let me check the chat and see if it triggered anything. Not that it needs to. Everybody's like tired. Did anybody even see that? That'd be hilarious if it's like, well, you did your new Q at 2:30 in the morning Central Time. That's a little late. Let me release the Scratchy McScratchin'. Scratchiny. It really does have to happen. It is so late. If I could just only find my window to release. Thank you, everyone, very much for the gold pills this evening. Wait, someone... Let me filter the comments, because someone I may not have... I might have missed one. No, I think there was a 117, maybe. Anyway, cool. I probably need to open a... Well, anyway. I encourage anyone that might be alive to scratch the itch. So happy that the people came by. Let me play the outro. Connect the dots, grats. Boom. I'll play the outro. It was a pleasure sharing my first very public. I had 500 followers at the time. Who knows if it was shadow banned? I don't know if they knew how to do that as well back then. It said new Q. I'm so excited we got that far. I'm going to repeat that one post on the beginning of the next show. That'll be the end of the show and the beginning of the next show next week. And we go through some Q, you know. It's a little Facebooky, but all right, let me get out of here. You guys are the best. Outro. Good night. Thank you for spending time with us. We're joined on Fridays by co-host Angular. This has been G. Ross, and you are the underscore. Be sure to catch us on the foxhole.app, DLive, YouTube, or Facebook. Current shows include The Bread Pill Weekly. You've been red pilled, now be the red pill. You're out of the oven and ready for delivery on our weekly alternative news roundup and call-in show on Foxhole, DLive, YouTube, and Facebook every Friday at 5:30 p.m. Central, co-hosted by G. Ross and Angular. Current shows include Epistemology for Fun and Profit, where woo meets goo. You're in the woo, and the woo is in you. A philosophical call-in show with occasional guest interviews, diving into the oldest questions. Most episodes are exclusively on the foxhole.app, Sunday at 11:30 p.m. Central. Current shows include 9dNation, the nation with no denomination. Declare to the custom agents any edible plants or miscellaneous worldviews. We take a look back at how we got here, eventually leading into a regular Wednesday night Bible study at 11 p.m. Central. Catch us on the foxhole.app, DLive, YouTube, and Facebook. Our Friday co-host is Angular. This has been G. Ross, and you are the underscore.
Leading transhumanist Ray Kurzweil boasts that technological advancements will allow those that can afford it to live forever, but admits that most won't be able to keep up with the new master race. The drive for world government is now all about who will control and have access to radical life extension systems.
Biological evolution is too slow for the human species.
Over the next few decades, it's going to be left in the dust.
Transhumanists believe that they will attain the fountain of youth by merging with technology. Now, it may be within their reach. Decades ago, transhumanists said that if you did not accept augmentation or enhancements, you would no longer be able to get jobs. And now it's happening today.
The elite who occupy the commanding heights of digital reality are suicidal nihilists. Suicidal nihilists know that there is no longer any substantive purpose to their willing, but they would always prefer to go on willing than not to act at all. They can very happily ally themselves with the notion of nuclear holocaust or perfect exterminism.
Technology has become so powerful in its capacity for destruction that free humanity cannot afford to let psychopathic technocrats with delusions of grandeur repeat the mistakes of their forebears, because it is highly probable that this time they may destroy everything, including themselves in their mad rush for godhood. In this film, we have chronicled the Overlord's bloody orgy of experimentation, which already claimed the lives of more than 150 million people in the 20th century. And now, they are promising to deliver an invincible tyranny that will dwarf their past exploits. In the days of World War II, there were sovereign nations and armies to stand against Hitler's final solution. Once world government is in place, no one will be able to stop the New World Order's plans for global population reduction. For those immune to psychological programming, hundreds of FEMA camps have already been built throughout the United States. In their quest for population reduction, no method is off the table. These dark builders intend to release a string of man-made bioweapons plagues, each one worse than the last, while at the same time expanding the police state to enforce an orderly extermination of the population, all in the name of fighting invisible terrorists. And the Georgia Guidestones stand today as a cold testament to the elite's sacred mission. To have a two-class system where the underclass are forced to live as slaves in tiny enclosed cities, while the elite enjoy the land of the earth, evolve into superhumans with the aid of advanced implantable technologies, live eternal lives, and travel throughout the cosmos. This is the promise given to the inner members of the New World Order and the agenda of the Bilderberg Group. In 2007, Jim Tucker continued his 30-year quest to expose the globalist by traveling to Istanbul, Turkey, the site of Bilderberg, 2007.
Jim Tucker, thank you for coming on, my friend.
It's always fun.
Jim, tell us what you saw today when you were out at the Ritz Hotel.